All right, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be reading the entire script for The Dark Knight in one sitting. Don't ask me why I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. But if you watch it all the way through, every so often I'm going to be throwing up an Amazon gift card code, kind of like this one, and it's going to be worth $100, and it's going to be just in the span of like a half second. So make sure you watch it all the way through. You like the video, subscribe, and yeah, let's get right into it. All right, The Dark Knight by Jonathan Nolan and Christopher Nolan. Story by Christopher Nolan and David S. Goyer. Batman created by Bob Kane. The Dark Knight. It's going to be a long day. Burning, massive flames. A dark shape emerges, the bat symbol, growing, filling the screen with blackness. Cut to daylight, moving over the towers of downtown Gotham, closing in on an office building on a large window, which shatters to reveal int. Office, high-rise, day. A man in a clown mask holding a smoking, silenced pistol. Ejects a shell casing. This is Dopey. He turns to a second man, Happy, also in clown mask, who steps forward with a cable launcher, aims at a lower roof across the street, and fires a cable across. Dopey secures the line to an I-beam line, clamp on, sends a kit bag out, then steps out the window. Exit high-rise, day, into space. The men slide across the dizzying drop, landing on the lower roof across the street. A man on the corner, back to us, holding a clown mask. An SUV pulls up. The man gets in, puts on his mask. Inside the car, two other men wearing clown masks. Grumpy, three of a kind. Let's do this. One of the clowns looks up from loading his automatic weapon. Chuckles, that's it? 3 guys? Grumpy, there's 2 on the roof. Every guy is an extra share. 5 shares is plenty. Chuckles, 6 shares. Don't forget the guy who planned the job. Grumpy, yeah? He thinks he can sit it out and still take a slice? Then I get why they call him the Joker. Grumpy cocks his weapon. Bozo pulls the car over in front of the Gotham First National Bank. Rooftop, bank. Dopey pries open an access panel. Happy, why do they call him the Joker? Dopey, I heard he wears makeup. Happy, makeup? Dopey pulls out thick bundles of blue Cat 5 cables. Dopey, yeah, to scare people. War paint. Bank. Grumpy, Chuckles, and Bozo get out of the car and march into the bank carrying assault rifles. Bank. The security guard looks up. Grumpy fires into the ceiling. Customers scream. Chuckles cracks the security guard. As Grumpy and Bozo round up the hostages, one of the tellers presses a button mounted beneath her window. A silent alarm. Rooftop. Dopey watches the alarm ping his handheld. Here comes the silent alarm. Touches a button. And there it goes. That's funny. It didn't dial out to 911. It was trying to reach a private number. Behind him, Happy raises his silenced handgun. Is it a problem? Dopey, no, I'm done here. Happy shoots. Dopey slumps. Happy picks up his bag and forces open the roof access door and speeds down the stairs to the basement. He slams open the door and comes face to face with a huge vault. Bozo and Grumpy move down the line of hostages. Bozo hands each hostage object from a bag. A grenade. Grumpy follows, pulling the pins. Grumpy, obviously we don't want you doing anything with your hands other than holding on for dear life. Blam! Chuckles is blown off his feet. Grumpy and Bozo dive for cover. The bank manager steps out of his office, shotgun in hand. Hostages scramble, clinging their grenades. Vault room. Happy clamps a drill to the vault. The bit spins, slides into the metal door. A bolt of electricity rips through the drill, throwing Happy to the floor. Grumpy and Bozo cover as the bank manager fires again. He got 3 left. Bozo raises 2 fingers. Grumpy squeezes off a shot. The bank manager fires. Fires again. Grumpy looks at Bozo, who nods. Grumpy jumps up. The bank manager fires. Grumpy grunts as buckshot clips his shoulder. Falls. The bank manager moves in for the kill, fumbling for new shells. Bozo stands, shoots him. Bozo picks up the shotgun. Grumpy checks his wound. It's superficial. He struggles to his feet. Grumpy, where'd you learn to count? Bozo's mask stares him down. Grumpy heads for the stairs in the back. Bozo starts loading fresh shells into the shotgun. Bank manager, you have any idea who you're stealing from? You and your friends are dead. Bozo looks down at him, says nothing. Vault room. Happy at the vault door, barefoot, turning the tumblers with hands stuffed into his sneakers. Grumpy walks in. Happy, they wired this thing up with 5,000 volts. What kind of bank does that? Grumpy, a mob bank. Guess the Joker's as crazy as they say. Happy shrugs, grips the wheel bolt, and spins it. Grumpy, where's the alarm guy? Happy, boss told me when the guy was done, I should take him out. One less share. Grumpy, funny, he told me something similar. Happy freezes. The wheel spins to a stop. The vault door clunks open. Happy grabs for his weapon, spins to see Grumpy shoot. Grumpy steps over Happy into the vault. Vault bank, which is filled with an 8-foot mountain of cash. Lobby. Grumpy walks into the lobby, straining under several duffels filled with cash. He dumps them, looks at Bozo, laughs. Grumpy, come on, there's a lot to carry. Lobby, bank. Bozo walks back into the lobby with 2 more duffels, sets them down on an enormous pile. Grumpy looks at it. Grumpy, if this guy was so smart, he would have had us bring a bigger car. Grumpy jabs his pistol in Bozo's back, takes his weapon. Grumpy, I'm betting the Joker told you to kill me as soon as we loaded the cash. Bozo shakes his head. No, I kill the bus driver. Grumpy, bus driver? What bus? Bozo steps backwards. Smash! Hostages scream as the tail end of a yellow school bus rockets through the front of the bank, slamming Grumpy into the teller's window. Bozo picks up Grumpy's weapon. Another clown opens the rear door of the bus. Bozo shoots him, then loads the bags onto the bus. The wounded bank manager watches him. In the distance, sirens. Bank manager, think you're smart, huh? Well, the guy who hired you's just do the same to you. Bozo slowly shakes his head. Bank manager, sure he will. Criminals in this town used to believe in things. Bozo turns back to the bank manager, crouches over him. Bank manager, honor, respect. What do you believe, huh? What do you Joker slides a grenade into the man's mouth. A purple thread is knotted around the pin. The Joker, I believe that what doesn't kill you. Bozo pulls off his mask. The bank manager gasps. In the reflections of the glass debris behind the bank manager, we see glimpses of a scared mouth and clown makeup. The Joker continues, simply makes you stranger. The bank manager's eyes go wide. The Joker rises, strolls towards the bus. The purple thread attached to the grenade pin unraveling from the purple lining of his jacket as he walks. The Joker climbs into the bus, shuts the rear door, trapping the purple thread. School, Gotham, day. Kids pour out, heading onto a long line of school buses. Bank continues. As the bus pulls out, the purple thread pulls the pin, hostages scream and scurry away from the bank manager, who shakes with fear as, with a fizz, the grenade does not explode, but spews red smoke. Bank. The school bus pulls free of the bank wall and pulls out onto the street, sliding into the line of identical buses heading past the bank. The buses trundle past cop cars racing up the street. And we cut to moving over Gotham. From the top of a brick building, a shaft of light comes on. A patrolman looks up at the bat signal, smiles. A dealer standing beside a car spots the signal, steps back. Oh shit. Hold on. Let me just make sure that this is working. Okay. We're good. We're 10 minutes in. Alright. A patrolman looks at the bat signal, smiles. A dealer standing beside a car spots the signal, steps back. No, man, I don't like it tonight. Buyer, what are you, superstitious? You got more chance of winning the Powerball than running into him. Major Crimes Unit, Gotham Central. Detective Ramirez, female, rookie detective, 30s, makes coffee, watching a news show on the television. The host, Mike Engel, lays into the mayor. Engel, Mr. Mayor, you were elected on a campaign to clean up the city. When are you going to start? Mayor, well, Mike. Engel, like this so-called Batman. A lot of people say he's doing some good. Engel, that criminals are running scared, but I say no. What kind of hero needs to wear a mask? You don't let vigilantes run around breaking the law. Where does it end? Yet, we hear rumors that instead of trying to arrest him, the cops are using him to do their dirty work. Mayor, I'm told our men in the Major Crimes Unit are close to an arrest. Ramirez, hey, Wirtz, the mayor says you're closing in on the Batman. Wirtz looks up, listless, crumples up a paper. Where Wirtz, the investigation is ongoing. He throws the paper at the trash. It rebounds off a board headed Batman, suspects, lined with pictures. Abraham Lincoln, Elvis, the abominable snowman. Rooftop, major crimes unit. Ramirez comes out onto the roof. Lieutenant Gordon sits by a searchlight. She hands Gordon a cup of coffee. Ramirez, ever intended to see your wife again, Lieutenant? Gordon, I thought you had to go look after your mother, Detective. Ramirez, they checked her back into the hospital. Gordon, I'm sorry. Ramirez, making light. She's got someone round the clock, unlike your wife. Looks at bat signal. He hasn't shown. Gordon gets up, looks into the sky at the bat signal. Gordon often doesn't, but I like reminding everybody that he's out there. Ramirez, why wouldn't he come? Gordon, hopefully because he's busy. Parking garage, night. Two black SUVs pull out onto the top floor. A large man emerges, the Chechen. A bodyguard points at the sky. The Chechen peers up at the bat signal, shrugs. Chechen, in Russian, that's why we bring dogs. Bodyguard 2 opens the back door. 3 enormous Rottweilers emerge, growling. The Chechen crouches, kissing the dogs. Chechen, in Russian, my little princess, to bodyguards. The Batman's invisible to you, fools. But my little princess, they can find human meat in complete darkness. The Chechen moves to the second SUV, reaches in and drags out a skinny, wild-eyed junkie by his hair. Junkie, babbling, no, get off me, off me. The Chechen drags the junkie towards a battered white van. The van's rear doors open. 2 armed thugs emerge, carrying barrels. A third hovers in the dark interior. Chechen, accented English. Look what your drugs did to my customers. Voice, OS, buyer, beware. The figure emerges, Scarecrow, wearing his mask. Scarecrow, I told your man my compound would take you places. I never said they'd be places you wanted to go. Chechen, my business is repeat customers. Scarecrow, if you don't like what I have to offer, buy from someone else. Scarecrow, assuming Batman left anyone else to buy from. The Chechen frowns. The dogs start barking. Bodyguard, nervous. He's here. A burly thug at the periphery suddenly sucked into the darkness. In his place, a shadow straightens, revealing pointed bat ears against the glittering skyline. Chechen, come on, son of a bitch. My dogs are hungry. Pity, there's only one of you. A bodyguard to the side disappears with a scream, and a second bat shadow appears. The Chechen looks taken aback. 3 more bat shadows appear. Even the dogs stop growling. Boom! A hole appears in the SUV next to the Chechen. The first bat shadow steps into the light, carrying a shotgun. Chaos as men scatter and the rooftop erupts in gunfire. The Chechen turns as he hears one of his men scream. Chechen, loose the dogs! A bodyguard releases the dogs. They race, salivating into the darkness. The dogs race towards the bat shadow. The first dog leaps, gets its jaws around the bat shadow's throat. Scarecrow ducks behind the van, holes punched in the side by shotgun blasts right behind him. He starts to climb into the driver's seat. The muzzle of a shotgun is pressed to the back of his head. A bat shadow is behind him. He sprays him with fear toxin. The bat shadow collapses to the ground, screaming. The Chechen, cowering from gunfire, looks down at him. Scarecrow, not the real thing. Chechen, how you know? Scarecrow, we're old friends. A huge black shape slams down onto the row of parked cars. The Batmobile. Scarecrow, that's more like it. The Chechen's men blast away at the front of the car. The bullets spark off its monstrous surface harmlessly. Batmobile. The cockpit is empty. One of the screens reads loiter. The shooting stops. The screen switches to intimidate. Parking garage. The men stare at the Batmobile for a quiet moment. Boom! The Batmobile cannons blast cars all around the men. A bat shadow lines up his shotgun on a running bodyguard. Clunk! A black gauntlet grasps the barrel and bends it upwards with a howl of tortured steel. The bat shadow looks into the face of the Batman. The real Batman. The bat shadow stumbles backwards in terror, leaving the bent shotgun in Batman's hand. Batman opens his hand, revealing a pneumatic mangle hidden in his palm. Batman bears down on the dogs, mauling another bat shadow, draws his grappling gun, and shoots his grapple into the fake Batman's legs, and rips him from the dogs. One dog hanging on as a Batman pulls the unconscious man away. The Chechen runs down the ramp towards the exit. As Batman kicks the dog off the fake Batman, the Chechen gets into his SUV. Another dog locks its jaws around Batman's forearm, ripping, tearing. Batman swings the dog over his head, smashes it against the ground. its jaws open. Batman rises. An engine races behind him. He can't turn in time. Blam! He slams sideways by the speeding van. Van, continuous. Scarecrow, driving, nods at him and hits the gas. Batman raises his hand, revealing his jointed mangle and pistons. The mangle straightens and rotates from his palm to the knife edge of his opened hand. Batman chops straight through the windshield, pulls his hand out, and chops again. The mangle gets stuck. Scarecrow steers towards a column. Parking garage, continuous. Batman can't free himself. He turns a dial on his forearm piston. Explosive bolts below, freeing his gauntlet from the mangle. He rolls free of the van as it scrapes the column and barrels down the circular exit ramp. Batman rises. A phony Batman lying on the ground watches as Batman climbs up to the edge of the 10-story corkscrew ramp and stands there, waiting for something. After a moment, he jumps and falls 10 stories. He's about to hit the exit ramp. The van appears. His cape pops open. He slams into the roof, crushing the cab. Rooftop, parking garage, moments later. The Chechen's men are lined up against the wall, bound with zip ties. So are the fake Batman. Batman dumps Scarecrow next to the three Batmen, rips his mask off. Batman, we're trying to help you. Batman, I don't need help. Scarecrow, not my diagnosis. Batman silences Scarecrow with his boot, turns to Batman. Batman, don't let me find you out here again. Batman moves towards the Batmobile. Batman, you need us. There's only one of you. It's war out here. Batman gets into the Batmobile. Batman, what gives you the right? What's the difference between you and me? As the canopy hisses shut, Batman, I'm not wearing hockey pads. The Batman looks down at his makeshift costume as the Batmobile roars past. Bank, nighttime. Lieutenant Gordon ducks the barrage of shouted questions from press and picks his way into the lobby of the bank. Lobby, bank, nighttime. Forensic specialists work around the room. Ramirez hands Gordon prints, indicates the surveillance cameras. Ramirez, he can't resist showing us his face. Gordon looks at the grainy blow-up of the Joker's face, sweating clown makeup plastered thick around the mouth. Gordon, put this out. By morning we can put a big top over Central Holding and sell tickets. What's he hiding under that makeup? Gordon approaches a forensic photographer shooting Grumpy's body. Gordon crouches to look at his clown mask. Batman steps from the shadows. Gordon nods at Ramirez. Ramirez, give us a minute, please, people. The forensic team and Ramirez leave. Gordon hands Batman the blow-up of the Joker. Batman, him again. Who are the others? Gordon, another bunch of small-timers. Batman pulls a device from his belt, moves to the bundles of cash scattered near the clown's body. The device pings. Batman picks up a bundle, hands it to Gordon. Batman, some of the marked bills I gave you. Gordon, my detectives have been making drug buys with them for weeks. This bank was another drop for the mob. That makes 5 banks we've found the bulk of their dirty cash. Batman, time to move in. Gordon waves the photo. Gordon, what about this Joker guy? Batman, one man or the entire mob? He can wait. Gordon, we'll have to hit all banks simultaneously. SWAT teams, back up. Gordon holds up the bundle of banknotes. Gordon, when the new DA gets wind of this, he'll want in. Batman, do you trust him? Gordon, be hard to keep him out. Gordon bags the cash. Gordon, I hear he's as stubborn as you, but Batman is already gone. Wayne, penthouse, morning time. Alfred walks past soaring downtown views as he carries a breakfast tray through the vast, empty penthouse. He stops, looking at a still-made bed. Alfred sighs, turns. Rail yards, morning. Alfred gets out of the rolls carrying a thermos. He walks towards a railway bridge, stops at a freight container, sitting, lopsided, on blocks. Alfred unlocks the rusty padlock and chain, steps inside. Freight container, continuous. Alfred fumbles in the dark, bangs his elbow, a hiss as the floor lowers. Alfred sinks down into bat bunker, continuous. The container floor lowers on a giant piston. Alfred steps off into a large, low-ceilinged concrete chamber. The Batmobile sits in the middle. Machines, 3D printers, power tools, dots the high-tech space. At one end, Wayne sits at a bank of monitors, watching CCTV footage of the bank robbery. Alfred, be nice when Wayne Manor is rebuilt and you can swap not sleeping in a penthouse for not sleeping in a mansion. Alfred places a cup of coffee in front of Wayne. who is stitching up a cut on his arm. Alfred takes needle. When you stitch yourself up, you make a bloody mess. Wayne, but I learn about my mistakes. Alfred, you ought to be ready. You ought to be pretty knowledgeable by now then. Wayne, my armor. I'm carrying too much weight. I need to be faster. Alfred, I'm sure Mr. Fox can oblige. Looks at wound. Did you get mauled by a tiger? Wayne, a dog. Off look. A big dog. There were more copycats last night, Alfred. With guns. Alfred, perhaps you could hire some of them and take weekends off. Wayne, this wasn't exactly what I had in mind when I wanted to inspire people. Alfred, I know, but things are improving. Look at the new district attorney. Wayne indicates a monitor, a handsome man in a suit. Wayne, I am, closely. I need to know if he can be trusted. Alfred looks at other images, the DA at a meeting, campaigning, helping someone out of a cab. Rachel. Alfred, are you interested in his character or his social circle? Wayne, who Rachel spends her time with is her business. Alfred, well, I trust you're not following me on my day off. Wayne, if you ever took one, I might. Alfred bites the thread, examines his stitches, looks at the scar crisscrossing Wayne's shoulders. Alfred, know your limits, Master Wayne. Wayne, Batman has no limits. Alfred, well, you do, sir. Wayne, I can't afford to know them. Alfred, and what happens the day you find out? Wayne, we all know how much you like to say I told you so. Alfred, that day, Master Wayne, even I won't want to. Probably. Courtroom, Superior Court. Harvey Dent bursts into the courtroom. Assistant DA Rachel Doss looks up, annoyed. Dent, sorry I'm late, folks. Rachel leans into Dent, speaking under her breath. Rachel, where were you? Dent, worried you'd have to step up? Rachel, I know the briefs backwards. Dent pulls a large silver dollar out of his pocket, grins. Dent, well then, fair's fair. Heads, I'll take it. Tails, he's all yours. Dent flips, shows it to Rachel, heads. Rachel, you're flipping coins to see who leads? Dent, my father's lucky coin. As I recall, it got me my first date with you. Rachel, I'm serious, Harvey. You don't leave things like this to chance. Dent, I don't. Sincere, I make my own luck. Dent looks across at the defendant, Sal Maroney. Maroney, I thought the DA just played golf with the mayor, things like that. Dent, tee-off's 1:30. More than enough time to put you away for life, Sally. The bailiffs lead a thin man into the witness box. Rossi. Courtroom. Superior Court. Daytime. Rossi takes a sip of water. Dent works the room. Dent. With Carmen Falcons and Arkham, someone must have stepped up to run the so-called family. Rossi nods. Is this man in the courtroom today? Rossi nods again. Could you identify him for us, please? Dent turns to Maroney, who is poker face. Dent smiles. Rossi. You win, counselor. It was me. Dent's smile disappears. He turns back to Rossi. Dent, I've got a sworn statement from you that this man, Salvatore Maroney, is the new head of the Falcon crime family. Rossi, Maroney? He's a fall guy. I'm the brains of the organization. Laughs from the gallery. Dent turns to the judge. Dent, permission to treat the witness as hostile. Rossi, hostile? I'll show you hostile. Rossi jumps up, points a gun at Dent's face, screams from the gallery. Rossi pulls the trigger. The gun misfires with a pop. Dent steps forward, grabs the gun, decks Rossi with a right cross, unloads the gun, and sets it down in front of Maroney. Dent, ceramic .28 caliber, made in China. If you want to kill a public servant, Mr. Maroney, I recommend you buy American. Everyone stares, open mouth, as Dent adjusts his tie. The bailiffs are wrestling Rossi from the box. Dent continues, but your honor, I'm not done. Lobby, Dent's office, DA's, daytime. Rachel, excited, leads Dent through the lobby. Rachel, we'll never link the gun to Maroney, so we can't charge him. But I'll tell you one thing, the fact that they tried to kill you means we're getting to them. Dent, glad you're so pleased, Rachel. I'm fine, by the way. Rachel turns to Dent, smooths his lapels. Rachel, Harvey, you're Gotham's DA. If you're not getting shot at, you're not doing your job. Smiles. Of course, if you said you were rattled, we could take the rest of the day. Dent, can't. I dragged the head of the major crimes unit down here. Rachel, Jim Gordon, he's a friend. Try to be nice. Dent's office, daytime. Gordon stands as Dent enters. The two men shake. Gordon, word is you've got a hell of a right cross. Shame Sal's going to walk. Dent, well, good thing about the mob is they keep giving you second chances. Dent picks up a bundle of bills from the heist. Dent, lightly irritated bills. Fancy stuff for a city cop. Have help? Gordon, we liaise with various agencies. Dent, save it, Gordon. I want to meet him. Gordon, official policy is to arrest the vigilante known as Batman on sight. Dent, and that floodlight on top of MCU? Gordon, if you have any concerns about malfunctioning equipment, take them up with maintenance, counselor. Dent tosses the bills back onto his desk, annoyed. Dent, I've put every known money launderer in Gotham behind bars, but the mob is still getting its money out. I think you and your friend have found the last game in town, and you're trying to hit them where it hurts. Their wallets. Bold. You gonna count me in? Gordon, in this town, the fewer people know something, the safer the operation. Dent, Gordon, I don't like that you've got your own special unit, and I don't like that it's full of cops investigated at internal affairs. Gordon, if I didn't work with cops you'd investigated while you were making your name at IA. I'd be working alone. I don't get political points for being an idealist. I have to do the best I can with what I have. Dent looks at Gordon, considering how to proceed. Dent, you want me to back warrants for search and seizures on 5 banks without telling me who we're after? Gordon, I can give you the names of the banks. Dent, well, that's a start. I'll get you your warrants, but I want your trust. Gordon rises. You don't have to sell me, Dent. We all know you're Gotham's White Knight. Dent grins. I hear they've got a different nickname for me down at MCU. Gordon smiles. Boardroom, Wayne Enterprises, daytime. Lucius Fox, CEO of Wayne Enterprises, and the board listen to LAU, 40s, CEO of LSI Holdings. Lau. In China, LSI Holdings stands for Dynamic New Growth. A joint Chinese venture with Wayne Enterprises will be a powerhouse. Fox. Well, Mr. Lau, I speak for the rest of the board and Mr. Wayne in expressing our own excitement. The Chinese look to the head of the table. Wayne, asleep. Hallway, Wayne Enterprises, daytime. Fox shows Lau to the elevator. He's joined by Reese, 30s, an ambitious M&A consultant lawyer. Lau. It's okay, Mr. Fox. Everyone knows who really runs Wayne Enterprises. Fox. We'll be in touch as soon as our people have wrapped up the diligence. The elevator doors close. Reese frowns. Reese. Sir, I know Mr. Wayne's curious how his trust fund gets replenished frankly, it's embarrassing. Fox heads for his office. Reese in tow. Fox. You worry about the diligence, Mr. Reese. I'll worry about Bruce Wayne. Reese, it's done. The numbers are solid. Fox smiles. Do it again. Wouldn't want the trust fund to run out, would we? Boardroom, Wayne Enterprises, continuous. Wayne is standing by the window. Fox. Another long night? Wayne smiles. This joint venture was your idea, and the consultants love it, but I'm not convinced. LSI's grown 8% annually like clockwork. They must have a revenue stream that's off the books, maybe even illegal. Wayne. Okay, cancel the deal. Fox looks at Wayne. You already knew. Wayne. I needed a closer to look at their books. Fox looks at Wayne. Wry. Fox. Anything else you can trouble me for? Wayne. I need a new suit. Fox looks him over. 3 buttons is a little 90s. Wayne. I'm not talking about fashion, Mr. Fox, so much as function. Wayne pulls some diagrams. Fox looks them over. You want to be able to turn your head? Wayne. Sure, make backing out of the driveway easier. I'll see what I can do. Fox. I'll see what I can do. Restaurant, nighttime. Rachel and Dent at a table. Dent looks a little intimidated by the surroundings. Dent. It took 3 weeks to get a reservation, and I had to tell them I worked for the government. Rachel. Really? Dent. This city health inspector is not afraid to pull strings. Rachel smiles. Then over Dent's shoulder, she sees Wayne enter, accompanied by a beautiful woman. Dent. What? Wayne. Rachel. Fancy that. Rachel. Yeah, yes, Bruce. Fancy that. Wayne. Rachel. Natasha. Rachel. Natasha, Russian accent. Hello. Dent, the famous Bruce Wayne. Rachel's told me everything about you. Wayne, I certainly hope not. Rachel. Bruce, this is Harvey Dent. Wayne, let's put a couple tables together. Dent, I don't know if they'll let us. Wayne, they should. I own the place. Rachel, for how long? About 3 weeks? Wayne, how'd you know? Rachel, Natasha, aren't you... Wayne, prima ballerina for the Moscow Ballet. Rachel, Harvey's taking me next week. Wayne, you're into ballet, Harvey? Rachel, no, he knows I am. An extra table arrives. Same time, later. They finish up dinner. Natasha, no, come on. How could you want to raise children in a city like this? Wayne, I was raised here. I turned out okay. Dent, is Wayne Manor in the city limits? Is Wayne Manor? I don't know. Rachel gives Dent a withering look. Wayne, the Palisades? Sure. You know, as our new DA, you might want to figure out where your jurisdiction ends. Natasha, I'm talking about the kind of city that idolizes a mass vigilante. Dent, Gotham's proud of an ordinary man standing up for what's right. Natasha, Gotham needs heroes like you, elected officials, not a man who thinks he's above the law. Wayne, exactly. Who appointed the Batman? Dent, we did. All of us stood by and let scum take control of our city. Wayne watches Dent, sees his passion. Natasha, but this is a democracy, Harvey. Dent, when their enemies were at the gate, the Romans would suspend democracy and appoint one man to protect the city. It wasn't considered an honor. It was considered public service. Rachel, and the last man they asked to protect the Republic was named Caesar. He never gave up that power. Dent, well, I guess you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Look, whoever the Batman is, he doesn't want to spend the rest of his life doing this. How could he? Batman's looking for someone to take up his mantle. Natasha, someone like you, Mr. Dent? Dent, maybe, if I'm up to it. Natasha reaches up and covers the top half of Dent's face. Natasha, but what if Harvey Dent is the Caped Crusader? Dent, if I were sneaking out every night, someone would have noticed by now. Dent takes Rachel's hand. Rachel glances at Wayne, awkward. Wayne, well, you sold me, Dent. I'm going to throw you a fundraiser. Dent, that's nice of you, Bruce, but I'm not up for re-election for 3 years. That stuff won't start for... Wayne, I don't think you understand. One fundraiser with my pals, you'll never need another cent. Back alley, hotel, downtown, daytime. A line of high-end autos dispenses well-dressed gangsters. Kitchen, hotel, daytime. The Chechen walks through a metal detector manned by 2 Chinese. A lean African-American man, 50s, is being wanded. This is Gamble. He nods at the Chechen, wary. Conference room, hotel. Gotham's most notorious gangsters. A door opens and 2 burly Chinese enter carrying a TV. They set it down on the end of the table. Crime boss. The hell is this? The screen flickers to life. Lau. The room erupts. Lau on TV. Gentlemen, please. As you're all aware, one of our deposits was stolen. A relatively small amount. 68 million. Chechen. Who's stupid enough to steal from us? Lau. I'm told the man who arranged the heist calls himself Joker. Chechen. Who the hell is that? Maroni. 2-bit whack job wears a cheap purple suit and makeup. He's not the problem. He's a nobody. Looks at Lau. The problem is our money being tracked by the cops. Murmurs of surprise. Lau. Thanks to Mr. Maroni's well-placed sources, we know that police have indeed identified our banks using marked bills and are planning to seize your funds today. Everyone starts shouting at once. Various downtown banks. Gordon sits in a SWAT van outside a bank. Steffens is outside another. Ramirez a third. SWAT team checks weapons and prepare move. Social club, downtown. Lau waits for the noise to subside. You promise, Chechen, you promise safe, clean money launder. Lau, with the investigation ongoing, none of you can risk hanging on to your own proceeds. And since the enthusiastic new DA has put all my competitors out of business, I'm your only option. Maroni, so what are you proposing? Lau, moving all deposits to one secure location, not a bank. Gamble, where then? Lau, obviously no one can know but me. If the police were to gain leverage over one of you, everyone's money would be at stake. Chechen, what stops them getting to you? Lao, as the money is moved, I go to Hong Kong, far from dense jurisdiction, and the Chinese will not extradite one of their own. From the back of the room comes laughter. It grows and grows until it fills the room. All eyes turn. The Joker. Sweaty clown makeup obscuring the awful scars which widen his mouth into a permanent, ghoulish smile. The Joker. I thought I told bad jokes. Gamble, give me one reason I shouldn't have my boy here pull your head off. The Joker pulls out a freshly sharpened pencil. The Joker. How about a magic trick? The Joker slams the pencil onto the table, leaving it upright. The Joker. I'll make this pencil disappear. Gamble nods. His bodyguard moves at the Joker, who sidesteps, grips his head, slams it face down onto the table. The bodyguard goes limp and slides off the table. The pencil is gone. Magic. The Joker bows, grins at Gamble. The Joker. And by the way, the suit wasn't cheap. You should know. You bought it. Gamble stands, furious. The Chechen stops him. Chechen, sit. I want to hear a proposition. The Joker nods his thanks, rises. The Joker. A year ago, these cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. What happened? Did your balls drop off? See, a guy like me, Gamble, a freak, laughs, which the Joker tries to ignore. The Joker. A guy like me, I know why you're holding your little group therapy session in broad daylight. I know why you're afraid to go out at night. Batman. He's shown Gotham your true colors, and Dent's just the beginning. Indicates Lau, and as for his so-called plan, Batman has no jurisdiction. He'll find him and make him squeal. Smiles at Lau. I can tell the squealers every time. Chechen, what you propose? The Joker. It's simple. Kill the Batman. Jeers, laughter. Maroney. If it's so easy, why haven't you done it already? The Joker. Like my mother used to tell me, if you're good at something, never do it for free. Chechen. How much you want? The Joker. Half. Laughter. The Joker shrugs, rises. The Joker. You don't deal with this now. Soon Gamble won't even be able to get a nickel for his grandma. Gamble. Enough from the clown. Gamble gets up, moving at the Joker, who casually opens his coat, revealing explosives wired to his chest. Gamble stops. The Joker. Let's not blow this out of all proportion. Gamble stares at the Joker. Hard. Gamble. You think you can steal from us and just walk away? I'm putting the word out. 500 grand for this clown dead. 1 million alive. So I get to teach him some manners first. The Joker shrugs. Turns to the assembled. The Joker. Let me know when you change your minds. The Joker strolls out. Maroney turns to Lau. Maroney, how soon can you move the money? Various banks downtown. Gordon hurries up the steps to a bank. SWAT teams rush the various banks. Lau, I already have underpass, Gotham. A Chinese man finishes loading a tractor trailer with cash boxes. The truck pulls out into a convoy. Bank vault. Gordon stands in an almost empty bank vault, furious. Lau, for obvious reasons, I couldn't wait for your permission. Social club, downtown. The shot of Lau on the TV widens. Rest assured, Lau, rest assured your money is safe. He is already on his private jet, in the sky, the bat signal. Roof, police station. Batman emerges from the shadow. The man next to the glowing spotlight turns. Dent. Dent, you're a hard man to reach. Gordon bursts onto the rooftop, weapons drawn, sees Dent. Dent. Lau's halfway to Hong Kong. If you'd asked, I could have taken his passport. I told you to keep me in the loop. Gordon. Yeah? All that was left in the vaults were the marked bills. They knew we were coming as soon as your office got involved. There's a leak. Dent. My office? You're sitting down here with scum like Wirtz and Ramirez. Off look. Oh yeah, Gordon. I almost had your rookie cold on a racketeering beef. Gordon. Don't try to cloud the fact that clearly Maroney's got people in your office, Dent. Dent turns to Batman. Dent, we need Lau back, but the Chinese won't extradite a national under any circumstances. Batman, if I get him to you, can you get him to talk? Dent, I'll get him to sing. Gordon, we're going after the mob's life savings. Things will get ugly. Dent, I knew the risks when I took this job, Lieutenant. Same as you. Turns to Batman. How will you get him back anyway? Batman is gone. Dent looks around, startled. Gordon smirks. Gordon, he does that. Fox's office, Wayne Industries, daytime. Fogg gets up from behind his desk. Fox, our Chinese friend left town before I could tell him the deal is off. Wayne, I'm sure you've always wanted to go to Hong Kong. Fox opens the door to a private elevator. Private elevator. Fox continues. Fox turns the key. Fox, what's wrong with a phone call? Wayne, I think Mr. Lau deserves a more personal touch. Applied Sciences Division. Fox leads Wayne off the elevator and into the vast space. Fox, for high altitude jumps, you need oxygen and stabilizers. I must say, compared to your usual request, jumping out of an airplane is pretty straightforward. Lucius stops at a cabinet, pulls open a drawer, and hauls out an oxygen tank and a ribbed rubber hosing. Wayne, how about getting back into the plane? Fox, I can recommend a good travel agent. Wayne, without it landing. That's more like it, Mr. Wayne. He shuts the drawer, moves off, thinking. Fox, I don't think I have anything here. The CIA had a program in the 60s for getting their people out of hot spots, called Skyhook. Now, Fox opens a cabinet to reveal components of a new batsuit, armored plating, secured to mesh. Wayne lifts an arm. Fox, hardened Kevlar plates on a titanium-dipped fiber tri-weave for flexibility. Wayne examines double-blade scallops on the gauntlet. Fox, you'll be lighter, faster, more agile. Wayne flinches as the blades fire, spinning like throwing stars, narrowly missing his ear, embedding themselves in a filing cabinet. Fox looks at him. Fox, perhaps you should read the instructions first. Wayne, sorry. Fox picks up the chest, demonstrating its flexibility. Fox, now, there's a trade-off. The spread of the plates gives you weak spots. You'll be more vulnerable to gunfire and knives. Wayne, we wouldn't want things getting too easy, would we? Picks up suit. How will it hold up against dogs? Fox looks at him quizzically. Fox, you talking Chihuahuas or Rottweilers? Wayne smiles. It should do fine against cats. Bat bunker. Day. Wayne examines a parachute harness. Alfred unfolds a diagram of a Navy cargo plane with a giant V mounted on the front. Alfred, I found one in Arizona. Very nice man says it will take him a week to get it running, and he takes cash. What about a flight crew? Wayne, South Korean smugglers. They run flights into Pyongyang? Below radar the whole way. Did you think of an alibi? Alfred looks quite pleased with himself. Alfred, oh yes. Ballet, nighttime. Rachel and Dent arrive to find the box office shuttered. A sign, performance canceled. A newspaper story is taped to the glass over a picture of Bruce Wayne on a yacht. Love boat billionaire absconds with entire Moscow ballet. Deck, Wayne's yacht, the Caribbean, daytime. Alfred picks his way over 12 sunbathing ballerinas. Wayne looks up from a newspaper. Alfred points to a seaplane gently touching down across the bay. Alfred, I believe your plane is here. Wayne, you look tired, Alfred. Will you be all right without me? A ballerina rolls over, waves the suntan lotion at Alfred. Alfred, if you can tell me the Russian for apply your own bloody suntan lotion. Wayne tosses a large waterproof kit bag into the water and jumps in after it. Begins swimming over to the seaplane. Pool hall, nighttime. Gamble racks up. A bodyguard steps into the room. Bodyguard, somebody's here for you. Gamble looks to the back. 3 rough customers are waiting. Bodyguard, they say they've killed the Joker. They've come for the reward. Gamble. They bring proof? Bodyguard, they say they've brought the body. The bodyguards flop a body wrapped in garbage bags onto the table. The bounty hunters wait in the corner. Gamble pulls back one of the garbage bags, revealing the Joker's bloodied face. Gamble spits, turns to the face the bounty hunters. Gamble. So dead, you get 500. Behind Gamble, the Joker sits up, thrusts knives into the bodyguard's chest. Gamble spins to see a crazy grin on the Joker's spit-dribbled face. The Joker, how about alive? The Joker gets a switchblade in Gamble's mouth, sharp metal pulling the cheat taut. The bounty hunters subdue the remaining bodyguards. The Joker, want to know how I got these scars? My father was a drinker and a fiend. He'd beat Mommy right in front of me. One night, he goes off crazier than usual. Mommy gets the kitchen knife to defend herself. He doesn't like that. Not one bit. The Joker tugs Gamble's cheeks with the blade. The Joker, so me, Watching, he takes the knife to her, laughing while he does it. Turns to me and says, "Why so serious?" Comes at me with the knife. "Why so serious?" Sticks the blade in my mouth. "Let's put a smile on that face." And the Joker looks up at the ashen faces of the remaining bodyguards. Smiles. The Joker. "Why so serious?" The Joker flicks his wrist. The bodyguards flinch as Gamble goes down. The Joker turns to them. The Joker. "Now, our organization is small, but we've got a lot of potential for aggressive expansion, so which of you fine gentlemen would like to join our team?" The three bodyguards all nod. The Joker snaps a pool cue. The Joker snaps a pool cue. The Joker. "Only one slot open right now, so we're going to have tryouts." The Joker drops the broken cue in the middle of the men. The Joker. "Make it fast." The men stare at each other, then at the jagged pool cue. Peninsula Hotel, Hong Kong, daytime. A helicopter touches down on one of the hotel's twin helipads. Two LSI VPs approach, heads ducked. Fox gets out. They shake hands, shouting over the engine. VP, "Welcome to Hong Kong, Mr. Fox." Mr. Lau regrets he is unable to meet you in person, but with his current legal difficulties... Fox, "I understand." Lobby, LSI Holdings, daytime. The VPs usher Fox towards security. VP, "I'm afraid for security reasons I have to ask for your mobile phone." Lucius hands his phone to a security guard, who puts the phone in a box underneath his station. LSI Holdings, daytime. Fox and Lau eat lunch in a dining room overlooking the city. Lau, "I must apologize for leaving Gotham in the middle of our negotiations. This misunderstanding with the Gotham police force, I couldn't let such a thing threaten my company. A businessman of your stature will understand, but with you here, we can continue." Fox, "Well, it was good of you to bring me out here in such style, Mr. Lau, but I've actually come..." A cell phone rings. Fox pulls out a second, identical phone. Fox presses the off switch and places the phone by his plate. Lau, "We do not allow cell phones in." Fox, "Sorry, forgot I had it. So I've come to explain why we're going to have to put our deal on hold." Lau stares at Fox, clearly furious. Fox smiles. Fox, "We can't afford to be seen to do business with, well, whatever it is you're accused of being. A businessman of your stature will understand." Lau gets up, silent. Fox retrieves his phone, stands. Lau, cold. I think, Mr. Fox, that a simple phone call might have sufficed." Fox, "Well, I do love Chinese food, and Mr. Wayne didn't want you to think we'd been deliberately wasting your time." Lau, "Just accidentally wasting it." Fox laughs. "That's a very good accidentally. Very good. I'll be sure and tell Mr. Wayne that he was wrong about you not having a sense of humor." Lobby, LSI Holdings, daytime. Lucius walks back through security, nods at the VP, who bows, offering Lucius his cell phone. Lucius shakes his hand, holds up the identical phone. The VP smiles, nods, puts the phone back in the tray with several others. Hold, C-130, cargo hauler, done. Time. Two smugglers steal glances at Wayne, crouched at the rear in balaclava and flight suit. The co-pilot signals Wayne, who pulls his oxygen mask and stands up. The rear of the plane opens. Wayne steps to the edge, then jumps. Skies above Hong Kong, dawn time. Moving across the water towards Hong Kong harbor, a tiny figure drops into frame, plummeting towards the water, speeding past the highest floors of skyscrapers, seconds from impact. Wayne pulls the chute, drops into the water. Beneath freeway, Hong Kong harbor, daytime. Wayne pulls himself out of the water, dragging up his pack. Central escalators, daytime. Wayne stops halfway up the crowded commuter escalator. He takes a camera and lines up a shot like any tourist. Fox, "There's a better view from the peak tram." Wayne turns to find Fox standing there, street map out. Wayne, "How's the view from LSI Holdings?" Fox, "Restricted. Lau's hold up in there good and tight. Here." Fox shows Wayne the phone, the display, a 3D map of Lau's office suite. Wayne takes the phone, impressed. "Wayne, what's this?" Fox, "I had R&D work it up. It sends out high frequencies and records the response time to map an environment." Wayne smiles. "Sonar, just like a beat." Fox, "Submarine, like a submarine." Wayne, "And the other device?" Fox, "In place." Wayne nods, moves away. Fox, Mr. Wayne? Wayne turns. Good luck. Hong Kong, nighttime. Moving towards the tallest building in the glittering skyline to find Wayne, crouched on the roof. The blades of his gauntlets click into place. He dons the helmet-like cowl. His cape is in the form of a hard, faceted pack. He stands, pulls 2 black boxes from his belt, clicks them together, and unfolds them into a rifle-like device. Batman scopes a second, lower building, adjusts the setting, and fires 4 times. 4 small, sticky bombs slap onto the glass of the lower building. They have visible timers which are counting down. Lobby, LSI Holdings, nighttime. Lucius's cell phone glows in the box under the security guard's desk. Characters race across the screen. Then the monitor flickers off, the lights dim, and all the security doors in the front of the building open at once. The guard grabs his radio, calls for help. Rooftop overlooking LSI Holdings. Batman launches into the glittering night, dropping from the tall tower. His pack bursts open, becoming his bat wings. He glides down to the lower building, streaking around it, banking hard to line up with a window in the rear. Lau's office, LSI Holdings, nighttime. Lau is talking on the phone, staring at a profit projection on a flat screen monitor. Suddenly, the room goes dark. LSI Holdings. As Batman hurtles towards the glass, he collapses his wings, wrapping his cape around himself and cannonballing through the glass. Lau's office suite, LSI Holdings, nighttime. Rolling across the floor in a flurry of broken glass, Lau pulls out Lau's office, top floor. Lau pulls out a handgun. Hallway, LSI Holdings. Lau steps into the hallway. His bodyguards are waiting for him, carrying flashlights. Lau, in Chinese. Where the hell are the cops? Bodyguard, in Chinese. Coming. Lau, what the hell am I paying them for? They head for the stairwell. LSI Holdings. A small army of Hong Kong police led by a Hong Kong detective descends on the building. Mezzanine level, LSI Holdings. Lau and his men make their way out of the mezzanine. Across the room, something makes a crashing sound. Lau's men fan out, trying to cover the room with their flashlights. Suddenly, one of the flashlights goes dark, then another. Someone screams. Lau fires, then fires again. The muzzle flash from his weapon strobes the room. LSI Holdings, Hong Kong. Cops swarm into the building. A lobby security guard directs the Hong Kong detective where to go. Office, LSI Holdings. Lau locks the door, reloads. The door is kicked open. Lau fires. No one is there. Lau stares, fingers restless on the trigger. From his right, a noise. He turns and fires. In the muzzle flash, Batman, bearing down on him like a demon. Lau fires and fires again as Batman tackles him. Batman pulls out a small pack, straps it onto Lau. The counter on the sticky bomb hits 0. The Hong Kong detective and the cops burst into the room. The wall on the ceiling behind Batman and Lau explodes, revealing the dawn sky above Hong Kong. The detective looks around as he hears a low rumble. Batman jerks the ripcord on Lau's pack. Cops cower as a weather balloon explodes out of the pack, unreeling high-test nylon. The cops cock their weapons. Lau looks up, bemused. The weather balloon is 200 feet up, swaying gently. The rumble builds. Suddenly, a massive C-130 roars over. The large V on the front of the plane snags the line. Lau and Batman are yanked through the hole in the ceiling. Lau screams as he and Batman soar up into the dawn sky. The detective looks up. Batman and Lau are gone. Gordon's office, MCU, Gotham Central, daytime. Gordon is looking through case files. Ramirez walks in. Ramirez, you're going to want to see this. Gordon follows Ramirez through a crowd of excited cops. MCU, daytime. Gordon follows Ramirez through a crowd of excited cops. On the ground, trussed like a chicken, Lau. A sign taped to his chest. Please deliver to Lieutenant Gordon. Interrogation room, MCU, Gotham Central. Lau sits next to his sleazy lawyer, Evans. Rachel walks in. Rachel, give us the money and we'll deal. Lau, the money is the only reason I'm still alive. Rachel leans forward, speaking softly, clearly. Rachel, you mean when they hear that you've helped us, they're going to kill you? Evans, are you threatening my client? Rachel, no, I'm just assuming your client's cooperation with this investigation. As will everyone. Moves to the door. Enjoy your stay in county, Mr. Lau. Lau, wait. Rachel stops. I won't give you the money, but I'll give you my clients. All of them. Rachel, you are a glorified accountant. What could you have on all of them that we could charge? Lau, I'm good with calculations. I handled all their investments. One big pot. Observation room, MCU, Gotham Central, daytime. Dent hits a buzzer, turns to Gordon. Dent, I've got it. I've got it, Rico. I've got it. Rico, if their money was pooled, we can charge all of them as one criminal conspiracy. Gordon, charge them with what? Rachel enters. Dent, in a Rico case, if we can charge any of the conspirators with a felony, Rachel, we can charge all of them with it. Dent nods at Rachel, excited. Interrogation room, MCU, Gotham Central, daytime. Rachel comes back in. Rachel, Rachel, Mr. Lau, do you have details of this communal fund? Ledgers, notebooks. Lau smiles. Immunity, protection, and a chartered plane back to Hong Kong. Rachel, once you've testified in open court, so with your clients locked up, what happens to all that money? Lau, like I said, I'm good with calculation. Observation room, MCU, Gotham Central. Dent and Gordon watch Lau. Gordon, he can't go to county. I'll keep him here in the holding cells. What is this, Dent? What is this, Gordon? Your fortress? Gordon, you trust them over at county? Dent, I don't trust them here. Gordon, Lau stays. Dent, it's your call, Lieutenant. Be right. Gordon, I am, Counselor. City Hall, daytime. Dent stands in front of a small crowd of reporters. Reporter, the Chinese government claim their international rights have been broken. Dent, I don't know about Mr. Lau's travel arrangements. Restaurant. Dent's press conference plays on a TV in the corner. Dent grins, but I'm sure glad he's back. Maroney and the Chechen are watching the TV. Chechen, I put word out. We hire the clown. Off look. He was right. We have to fix real problem. Batman. Maroney shakes his head. Spots Gordon walking over dangling a pair of handcuffs. Nods at the TV. Gordon, our boy looks good on the tube. Maroney, you sure you want to embarrass me in front of my friends, Lieutenant? Gordon, don't worry. They're coming too. Gordon points out the window to a prison bus. Various downtown and outlying locations. Daytime. Prison buses in every neighborhood. Cops load them with criminals. Steffens puts crime boss in a prison bus. Courtroom A, Gotham Municipal Courthouse, daytime. Judge Cirillo reads the list of charges. Judge Cirillo. 849 counts racketeering, 246 counts fraud, 87 counts conspiracy murder. Judge Ciroli turns the page. A playing card sits there. A joker. He glances at it, curious, puts it to one side. Judge Ciroli, how do the defendants plead? An army of defense lawyers jostle, yelling all at once. The stenographer looks up, helpless. Mayor's office, daytime. The mayor, Commissioner Lowe's, and Gordon look up as Dent enters. Mayor, Dent, what was that circus? Dent, I asked Gordon to make some arrests. Loeb looks at report. 500 and Gordon, 49, sir. Gordon nods at Dent, approving. Dent grins back. Mayor, 549 criminals at once? How did you convince Cirillo to hear this farce? Dent, she shares my enthusiasm for justice. After all, she is a judge. Mayor, even if you blow enough smoke to get convictions out of Cirillo, you'll set a new record at appeals for quickest kick in the ass. Dent, it won't matter. The head guys make bail, sure, but the mid-level guys, they can't. And they can't afford to be off the streets long enough for trial and appeal. They'll cut deals that include some jail time. Think of all you could do with 18 months of clean streets. The mayor waves Gordon and Loeb out. Mayor, the public likes you, Dent. That's the only reason this might fly. But that means it's on you. They're all coming after you now. Not just the mob, politicians, journalists, cops, anyone whose wallet's about to get lighter. Are you up to it? Dent smiles. You better be. They get anything on you, those criminals will be back on the streets. The mayor turns to look out of the window, quiet. Mayor, followed swiftly by you and me. Bang! A dark shape cracks the glass in front of the mayor's nose. Dent rushes to the window, looks out. City Hall. Pedestrians look up. Someone screams. Someone points. 5 stories up, swinging from a flagpole. Batman. Hanging by his neck. Dead. his mouth roughly pointed in a demonic clown smile. City Hall, moments later. Batman is lowered from the flagpole. The same fake Batman we saw earlier, pinned to his chest by a knife, a playing card, a joker. Gordon moves closer to the body. The card has writing on it. Will the real Batman please stand up? Wayne, penthouse, daytime. Wayne comes into the living room, excited. Alfred is supervising party arrangements. Wayne, how's it going? Alfred, I think your fundraiser will be a great success, sir. Wayne, and why do you think I wanted to hold a party for Harvey Dent? Alfred, I assumed it was your usual reason for socializing beyond myself and the scum of Gotham's underbelly, to try and impress Miss Doss. Wayne, very droll, but very wrong. Actually, it's Dent. You see, Wayne trails off as he spots something on the television. The Batman hanging as from a news camera, framed by a graphic that reads Batman Dead ? Image cuts to Engel in the studio. Engel, police release video footage found concealed on the body. Sensitive viewers be aware, it is disturbing. The image cuts to a blindfolded man wearing a makeshift Batman costume, face bruised and bloody, in some kind of bright fluorescent lit room. Voice, tell them your name. Man, weak. Brian Douglas. Voice, are you the real Batman? Man, no. Voice, why do you dress up like him? Man, he's a symbol that we don't have to be afraid of scum like you. Voice, but you do, Brian. You really do. You think the Batman's helped Gotham? Brian nods uncertainly. Voice, look at me. Brian looks down. Look at me. Brian looks up. The camera swings into the face of the Joker in chalk white makeup, red smear of lipstick in his scars. The Joker, this is how crazy Batman's made Gotham. You want order in Gotham? Batman has to go. So, leans in. Batman must take off his mask and turn himself in. Every day he doesn't, people will die. Starting tonight. I'm a man of my word. The tape cuts to static. Wayne turns to Alfred, silent. Wayne penthouse, evening. Dent and Rachel get off the lift. Dent stands in awe of the penthouse and its guests. Rachel, now I've seen it all. Harvey Dent, Scrooge of the underworld, scared stiff by the trust fund brigade. Rachel spots someone and darts off. Dent, Rachel, Alfred. A little liquid courage, Mr. Dent? Dent turns to see Alfred with drinks on a silver tray. Dent, thanks, Alfred. Thanks. Alfred, right? Alfred, yes, sir. Dent, Rachel talks about you all the time. You've known her whole life? Alfred, not yet, sir. Dent smiles, surveys crowd. Any psychotic ex-boyfriends I should be aware of? Alfred, oh, you have no idea. Alfred leaves Dent standing there, puzzled. The crowd reacts as a loud roar drowns conversation. Dent looks out. Helipad, Wayne penthouse. Wayne's chopper touches down. He spills out with a clutch of supermodels. Wayne penthouse. Wayne and the supermodels come out of the helipad elevator. Wayne, sorry I'm late. Glad you started without me. Where's Rachel? Rachel cringes slightly. Wayne spots her. Wayne, Rachel Doss, my oldest friend. When she told me she was dating Harvey Dent, I had one thing to say. The guy from those god-awful campaign commercials? Laughter. Dent shifts, embarrassed. Wayne, I believe in Harvey Dent. Nice slogan, Harvey. Certainly caught Rachel's attention, but then started paying attention to Harvey. But then I started paying attention to Harvey and all he's been doing as our new DA. And you know what? I believe in Harvey Dent. On his watch, Gotham can feel a little safer, a little more optimistic. So get out your checkbooks and let's make sure that he stays right where all of Gotham wants him. Raises his glass. All except Gotham's criminals, of course. To the face of Gotham's bright future, Harvey Dent. Dent smiles, accepting the toast. Corridor, MCU, evening time. Ramirez catches up to Gordon, holding paperwork. Ramirez, that Joker card pinned to the body? Forensics found 3 sets of DNA. Gordon, any matches? Ramirez, all 3. Gordon stops, turns to face her. Ramirez, the DNA belongs to Judge Cirillo, Harvey Dent, and Commissioner Loeb. Gordon, the Joker's telling us who he's targeting. Get a unit to Cirillo's house. Tell wards to find Dent. Get them both into protective custody. Where's the commissioner? Ramirez, City Hall. Gordon, seal the building. No one in or out till I get there. Deck, Wayne's penthouse, evening. Wayne walks out to the edge of the balcony and looks over Gotham. Here's someone behind him. Rachel. Rachel, Harvey may not know you well enough to understand when you're making fun of him, but I do. Wayne shakes his head. I meant every word. Wayne moves closer to Rachel, takes her arm. Wayne, the day you once told me about, the day when Gotham no longer needs Batman. It's coming. Rachel looks at Wayne, conflicted. He moves closer. Rachel, you can't ask me to wait for that. Wayne takes Rachel's arms, looking at her, excited. Wayne, it's happening now. Harvey is that hero. He locked up half the city's criminals, and he did it without wearing a mask. Gotham needs a hero with a face. Dent. You can throw a party, Wayne. I'll give you that. Thanks again. Mind if I borrow Rachel? Rachel glances back at Wayne as she moves to Dent. Wayne watches them head inside. Street, Gotham Heights, evening time. Two men in suits knock at a brownstone. The door is opened by Judge Cirillo. The two men hold up badges. The City Hall, evening time. Gordon enters through a tight police presence at the doors. Police Commissioner's office, evening time. Gordon enters to find Loeb, flanked by armed cops. Commissioner Loeb. Gordon, what are you playing at? Gordon checks the window, turns to his men. Gordon, we're secure. I want a floor-by-floor search of the entire building. Turns to Loeb. I'm sorry, sir. We believe the Joker has made a threat against your life. Loeb. Gordon, you're unlikely to discover this for yourself, so take my word, the police commissioner earns a lot of threats. Loeb pulls a bottle of whiskey and a tumbler from a drawer. Loeb, I found the appropriate response to these situations a long time ago. Street, Gotham Heights, evening time. The second man is waiting by the judge's car. Cirillo, Gordon wants me to go right now. Man 1, these are dangerous people, Judge. Even we don't know where you're going. He hands Cirillo a sealed envelope, opens the car door. Man 2, get in, then open the envelope. It'll tell you where you're headed. Cirillo climbs in, watches him drive away. She opens the envelope, pulls out a sheet of paper. One word on it. Up. Cirillo's car explodes, heaving the car upwards on a fireball. A passerby is thrown to the ground. After a moment, burning debris flutters down on him. Playing cards. Jokers. Police Commissioner's office continues. Loeb pours himself a glass of whiskey. Loeb, you get to explain to my wife why I'm late for dinner, Lieutenant. Gordon, sir, the Joker card had a trace of your DNA on it. A bang at the door. Gordon pulls his weapon, then opens it. Stevens, just a normal number of bad guys in the building, and they're all city employees. Here's a list. Loeb, how'd they get my DNA? Gordon looks at Stevens' list. Gordon, somebody with access to your house or office must have lifted a tissue or a glass. Gordon, realizing, spins around. Gordon, wait! But Loeb is already choking. He drops his tumbler onto the desk. The spilled whiskey is smoking, eating into the wood. Gordon, get a medic! Loeb collapses. Kitchen, Wayne penthouse. Dent pulls Rachel into the kitchen, away from the crowd. Dent, you cannot leave me on my own with these people. Rachel, the whole mob's after you, and you're worried about these guys? Dent, compared to this, the mob doesn't scare me. Although I will say, them gunning for you makes you see things clearly. Rachel, oh yeah? Dent, yeah, it makes you think about what you couldn't stand losing, and who you want to spend the rest of your life with. Rachel looks at Dent, smiles. Rachel, the rest of your life, huh? That's a pretty big commitment. Dent, not if the mob has their way. Rachel, don't. Dent, okay, let's be serious. What's your answer? Rachel looks at him. Rachel, I don't have an answer. Living room, penthouse, nighttime. Half the guests are on their cell phones. An assistant DA turns to his colleague. Assistant DA, Cirillo and Loeb? There's a knock at the front door. Alfred opens it to find Detective Wirtz, holds up his badge. Alfred beacons him. There's a shotgun at the back of his head, held by the Joker. Purple suit, makeup, with friends. The Joker smashes Wirtz over the head, steps over him, racking the shotgun. The Joker, good evening. Where the entertainment? Kitchen, Wayne penthouse. Rachel is looking at Dent, torn. Dent, I guess no answer isn't no. Rachel, I'm sorry, Harvey. Dent, it's someone else, isn't it? Wayne is moving up behind him. Fast. Dent, just tell me it's not Wayne. The guy is a complete... Rachel's eyes go wide as Wayne puts Dent in a sleeper hold. Rachel, what are you doing? Dent slumps, unconscious, in Wayne's arms. Wayne, they've come for him. From the main room, a shotgun blast followed by screams. Wayne stuffs Dent in a closet, puts a mop through the handles, rushes past Rachel. Wayne, stay hidden. Living room, Wayne's penthouse. Nighttime. The Joker and his thugs pour into the room, weapons raised. Hall, Wayne, penthouse. A thug appears in front of Wayne, touting a shotgun. Hands up, pretty boy. Thug, hands up, pretty boy. Wayne flips the shotgun around in the man's hand, uses it as a fulcrum to snap his forearm, smashes him in the jaw with the stock without breaking step, field stripping the shotgun and tossing the pieces in different directions. Living room, Wayne's penthouse. The Joker moves through the terrified guests, smiling. The Joker, I only have one question. Where is Harvey Dent? Silence. I'll settle for his loved ones. A distinguished gentleman steps into the Joker's path. Gentlemen, we're not intimidated by thugs. The Joker stops, stares at the man, smiles affectionately. The Joker, you know, you remind me of my father. He grabs him. I hated my father. The Joker has his blade in the gentleman's mouth. Rachel, stop! The Joker drops the gentleman, turns to Rachel. The Joker, hello, beautiful. You must be Harvey's squeeze. Runs his knife across her cheek. And you are beautiful. You look nervous. It's the scars, isn't it? Want to know how I got them? I had a wife, beautiful like you, who tells me I worry too much, who says I need to smile more, who gambles and gets in deep with the sharks. One day they carve her face, and we've got no money for surgeries. She can't take it. Presses knife into her cheek. I just want to see her smile again. I just want her to know I don't care about the scars. So I put a razor in my mouth and do this to myself. And you know what? Starts laughing. She can't stand the sight of me, or crying. She leaves. See, now I see the funny side. Now I'm always smiling. Master bedroom, Wayne penthouse. Nighttime. Wayne walks in. A couple are hastily putting themselves back together, alerted by the noise. Male guest. What's going on out there, Wayne? Wayne doesn't answer. He walks into a closet and pulls at a false wall. Wayne steps into the safe room. Female guest. Thank God, you've got a panic room. The door slams shut and seals with a hiss. Male guest. Wait, you can't. Female guest. You've got to be kidding me. Living room, Wayne's penthouse. The Joker raises his knife from Rachel's cheek. She slugs him. He smiles. The Joker. A little fight in you. I like that. My voice cracked. Batman. Then you're going to love me. The Joker turns. Batman catches him with a blow, spins him down, and disarms him. The Joker's men jump him. Batman takes them out 2 at a time, disarming thugs, breaking forearms. The Joker clicks a blade from the toe of his shoe and kicks, jabbing between the plates of armor covering Batman's ribcage. Batman hurls the Joker across the room. One of the Joker's men lunges. Batman lays him out cold. The Joker has another knife pressed to Rachel's cheek. Batman, drop the knife. The Joker, sure. Just take off your mask and show us all who you are. Rachel shakes her head at Batman. The Joker raises his shotgun to the side and blows out the pane of glass next to him. The Joker dangles Rachel out of the window. Batman, let her go. The Joker laughs. Very poor choice of words. He lets her drop. Rachel falls into a sloping glass roof, sliding towards the edge. Batman dives after her. Building, nighttime. They drop. Batman fires his grapple, snagging Rachel's ankle, activates one wing of his cape. They spin and slow Batman envelopes Rachel. They slam into the hood of a passing taxi. The driver screams as Batman and Rachel hit the roof, roll down the windshield onto the pavement, alive. Car. The Joker looks back as his car speeds away. He's breathing hard, exhilarated. He touches the blood running down his sweaty white makeup. Smacks the back of the driver's seat. Driver, what do we do about Dent? The Joker, I'm a man of my word. Taxi. Rachel opens her eyes. Batman, are you alright? Rachel, let's not do that again, okay? Looks around. Is Harvey? Batman, he's safe. Rachel lies back, breathing, looks up at Batman. Rachel, thank you. Major Crimes Unit, Gotham Central. Stevens is talking to Gordon. Subdued. Stevens, Jim, it's over. Gordon, as long as they don't get to Lau, we've cut off their funds. Stevens, but the prosecution's over. Stevens, no one's standing up in front of a judge while judges and police commissioners are getting blown away. Gordon, what about Dent? Stevens, if he's got any sense, Dent's halfway to Mexico by now. The door bursts open. Dent, fire in his eyes. Dent, so where do you keep your trash? Gordon looks at Dent, impressed. Special holding area, MCU, Gotham Central. Daytime. Lau looks up as Dent walks in, holding a bulletproof vest. Dent, you're due in court. I need you alive long enough to get you on the record. Lau, no way. You can't protect me. You can't even protect yourselves. Dent throws the heavy vest at Lau. Dent, refuse to cooperate on the stand. You won't be coming back here. You'll go to county. How long do you calculate you'll last in there? Bat bunker, daytime. Wayne sits at his video screens. They all play the Joker's video with different image treatments and sound tunings. Wayne turns to Alfred, indicates the screens. Wayne, targeting me won't get their money back. I knew the mob wouldn't go down without a fight, but this is different. They've crossed a line. Alfred, you crossed it first, sir. You've hammered them, squeezed them to the point of desperation. And now, in their desperation, they've turned to a man they don't fully understand. Wayne gets up from his monitors, raises the bat cabinet. Wayne, criminals aren't complicated, Alfred. We just have to figure out what he's after. Respectfully, Master Wayne, perhaps this is a man you don't fully understand either. Alfred looks at Wayne. I was in Burma a long time ago. My friends and I were working for the local government. They were trying to buy the loyalty of tribal leaders, bribing them with precious stones. But the caravans were being raided in a forest north of Rangoon by a bandit. We were asked to take care of the problem, so we started looking for the stones. But after 6 months, we couldn't find anyone who had traded with him. Wayne, what were you missing? One day I found a child playing with a ruby as big as a tangerine. Shrugs. The bandit had been throwing the stones away. Wayne, so why was he stealing them? Alfred, because he thought it was good sport. Because some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn. Wayne stares at Alfred. Reaches for the bat suit. Skyline of Gotham. Dawn. Moving over the city, we hear a myriad radio calls going out over the ether. Close in on a lonely figure on top of a skyscraper, the Batman, listening with his $1 million earpieces. From the babble, one voice emerges. Dispatch. Your name, sir, please state. Voice. 8th at Orchard. You'll find Harvey Dent there. 8th Street at Orchard. Dawn time. An unmarked and a squad car screech to a halt. Gordon and Ramirez get out. Lead 2 uniforms into the building. Apartment, 8th Avenue. The door smashes open. Gordon, gun drawn, takes in the scene. 2 dead men sitting at the kitchen table. They each have a hand of cards, as if in the middle of a game. All jokers. Gordon and Ramirez stare at the crude leers carved into their faces. Their driver's licenses are pinned to their chests. Voice, check the names. Gordon checks licenses. Patrick Harvey, Richard Dent. Ramirez, Harvey Dent. Batman, I need 10 minutes with the scene before your men contaminate it. Ramirez, us contaminate it? It's because of you that these guys are dead in the first place. Gordon, Ramirez. She stands down. Batman moves past the bodies to the wall, finds an embedded stray bullet. He pulls a sawing device from his belt, thrusts it into the wall, and starts cutting around the bullet. Gordon, that's a brick? You're going to try and take ballistics off a shattered bullet? Batman, no, fingerprints. Ramirez looks at Gordon. Is he serious? Gordon points. Gordon, whatever you're going to do it fast, because we know his next target. Batman looks, a campaign poster. Re-elect Mayor Garcia. The mayor's image has a manic clown's grin and ha ha ha. Fox's office, Wayne Enterprises, daytime. Fox is at his desk. Reese enters. Fox, what can I do for you, Mr. Reese? Reese, you asked me to do the diligence on the LSI holdings. Deal again. Found irregularities. Fox, their CEO is in police custody. Not with their numbers, with yours. A whole division of Wayne Industries disappeared overnight. So I went down to the archives and started pulling old files. He pulls out a folded blueprint, slides it across the desk. Reese, my kids love the Batman. I thought he was pretty cool too. Out there, kicking some ass. Fox picks up the piece of paper, unfolds it. It's an old blueprint. The image is unmistakable. The tumbler. Reese. Changes things when you know it's just a rich kid playing dress up. Reese points to the approval box in the corner of the page. Reese. Your project. Don't tell me you didn't recognize your baby pancaking cop cars on the evening news. Now you're getting sloppy. Applied Sciences was a small, dead department. Who'd notice? But now you've got the entire R&D department burning cash, claiming it's related to cell phones for the army. What are you building him now? A rocket ship? Reese, I want $10 million a year for the rest of my life. Fox looks at him. Even. Folds up the blueprint. Fox, let me get this straight. You think that your client, one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in the world, is secretly a vigilante who spends his nights beating criminals to a pulp with his bare hands. Deadpan. And now your plan is to blackmail this person. Reese stares at Fox, who smiles and slides the blueprint across the desk. Fox, good luck. Reese looks at it, then at Fox, swallows, slides it back. Bat bunker. Daytime. Wayne hands Alfred a rifle bullet scribed with a grid. He slots it into a clip, then loads it into a computer-controlled Gatling gun. He puts on ear protectors. Hits a button. The rifle whirs to life, dollying sideways, blasting bullets into a series of identical brick wall samples. Alfred, I'm not sure you made it loud enough, sir. As the wall samples still smoke, Wayne steps up, carrying the sample from the crime scene, comparing its spread to the new samples. He selects 2 and carries them to an X-ray scanner. The machine gives the samples a 3-axis scan, high resolution, 3D images of the bullet fragment. Arrays come up on this screen. Applied Sciences Division, daytime. The same image of the bullet fragment on a screen. Fox hits a key and the computer reassembles the bullets according to the identifying grid on each fragment. Fox, here's your original scan. A bullet fragment array pops on screen. Fox, here's it reverse engineered. Fox hits a button and the unmarked bullet fragments are reassembled. Wayne spins the roughly shaped bullet puzzle. Wayne, and here is a thumbprint. Wayne looks at the screen, impressed. Thinks. Fox, I'll make you a copy. Troubled. Mr. Wayne, did you reassign R&D? Wayne, yes. Government telecommunications project. Fox, I wasn't aware we had any new government contracts. Can you... Wayne, Lucius. I'm playing this one pretty close to the chest. Fox, fair enough. Fox looks at Wayne as he leaves, uneasy. Bat bunker, continuous. Wayne examines the fingerprint. Alfred, I'll run it through all the databases and come up with I'll run it through all the databases and come up with 4 possibilities. Wayne gets up to let Alfred sit. Wayne, cross-reference the addresses. Wayne, look for Parkside and around. Wayne opens a hydraulic door, revealing a gleaming MV Augusta Brutale as he moves the bike onto the lift. Alfred, got one. Melvin White, aggravated assault, moved to Arkham twice. 1502 Randolph Apartments, just off state. Wayne, overlooking the parade. Wayne and the bike rise on the lift. Parkside Avenue, daytime. All right, I'm going to take a quick restroom break, and I want to make sure that you guys see that I'm not... It is still all in one sitting, so I need to charge my phone first. All right. It is currently 2:40 p.m. I'll wait till it charges though, so that you guys can see the clock. The avenue has been blocked off. Onlookers line the sidewalks. Police march in dress uniforms. Angle does a stand-up on the sidewalk. Angle, with no word from the Batman, even as they mourn Commissioner Loeb, these cops have to be wondering if the Joker is going to make good on his threat to kill the mayor today. On the buildings above, police snipers scan the crowd. Gordon keys his radio. Gordon, how's it looking up top? Police sniper, we're tight, but frankly, there's a lot of windows up here. Gordon looks up at the myriad buildings overlooking the podium. Gotham streets. Wayne maneuvers the Ducati through the traffic. He pulls up near a parade barricade, dismounts, and slips into an alley. Tenement. Continuous. Some of the buildings are hard luck tenants eye Wayne as he counts doors down the hallway. He finds 1502. Parkside Avenue. Later. A sea of police fills the avenue in the center. 3 grieving families and an honor guard. The mayor at the podium. Gordon behind. Dent is seated with Rachel. The mayor. And as we recognize the sacrifice of these officers, we must remember that vigilance is the price of safety. Tenement. Continues. Wayne enters. 8 men in undershirts, bound, gagged, blindfolded. A sniper scope on a tripod at the window. Wayne moves to the first man, rips the tape from his mouth. Man, breathing hard. They took our guns, our uniforms. Parkside. Gordon scans the crowd. The mayor wraps up. The honor guard steps forward, raises weapons. Rooftop overlooking Parkside. A police sniper scans the window of the tenement. Wayne races to the window, looks through the scope to see State Street. The honor guard turns their weapons on the mayor. One smiles, flesh-colored makeup over his scars. The Joker. Gordon leaps forward. They fire. Gordon takes shots to the back as he slams the mayor to the ground. Rooftop overlooking Parkside. The police sniper spots Wayne at the window. Shoots. Tenement. Wayne ducks as shots erupt around the window. Parkside. Pandemonium erupts. One of the honor guard is tagged in the leg, goes down. The others melt into the chaos. This charger's not working. Alright. The others melt into the chaos. On the podium, Stevens rolls Gordon over. He is not moving. Side street off Parkside. Moments later. Chaos. Dent approaches an ambulance sitting in the alley. 2 cops jump out and run over to their commander. Dent steps up into the back. Ambulance. The Joker's thug sits there, handcuffed. A paramedic bandages his leg. Cops run past, barking orders. Dent, tell me that you know about the Joker. The Joker's thug looks at Dent, smirks. Dent looks down, exasperated, looks back up at the Joker's thug, spots something, moves closer. The man's uniform, his name tag. Officer Rachel Dawes. Dent, breathing hard, looks around. The paramedic jumps out, rushing to help a fallen officer. Dent spies the keys in the ignition, jumps into the driver's seat. Gordon's house, dusk. Barbara Gordon stands in the doorway, scared. Stevens and a uniformed officer stand in front of her. Stevens, I'm sorry, Barbara. James Gordon pushes past his mother to look at Stevens. Barbara tries to push him back inside. Barbara, Jimmy, go play with your sister. James stays just inside the door. Stevens, I'm sorry. Barbara stares at Stevens, then looks past him. Barbara, are you out there? Are you? James spots something. Batman perched in the shadows. Barbara, you brought this on us. This craziness. You did. You brought this. She collapses into Stevens' arms. Batman hangs his head. Roof. MCU. Nighttime. Detectives from MCU stand around the lit bat signal. Stevens, switch it off. He ain't coming. Stevens, he doesn't want to talk to us. God help whoever he does want to talk to. Nightclub. Strobe lights. Pounding music. Maroney is in the booth at the side with his mistress. His bodyguards are around the table. Mistress shouting over music. Can't we go someplace quieter? We can't even hear each other talk. Maroney, I don't want to hear you talk. Mistress, can't hear. What? One of Maroney's bodyguards drops. Maroney looks over. In the strobe lights, Batman savages his bodyguards. People run, terrified. Maroney starts to get out of his seat. Batman lands like a panther on the table in front of him. MCU, night. Rachel moves through the chaotic bullpen at MCU eyewitnesses. Civilian and cops are being questioned. Rachel's phone rings. Rachel. Harvey, where are you? Intercut with Dent in an indistinct interior setting. Dent, where are you? Where are you? Rachel, where you should be. At major crimes trying to sort through all the... Dent, Rachel, listen to me. You're not safe there. Rachel, this is Gordon's unit, Harvey. Dent, Gordon's gone, Rachel. Rachel, he vouched for these men. Dent, and he's gone. The Joker's named you next. Rachel looks around the bullpen, eyeing the detectives. Dent, Rachel, I can't let anything happen to you. I love you too much. Dent, is there anyone in this city we can trust? Rachel, Bruce, we can trust Bruce Wayne. Dent, Rachel, I know he's your friend, but Rachel, trust me, Harvey. Bruce's penthouse is now the safest place in the city. Okay, go straight there. Dent, go straight there. Don't tell anyone where you're going. I'll find you there. Wider shows us we are... Basement, condemned building. Dent, I love you. All right, it's 2:46. I'm going to go take a restroom break. Just so you know, I'm not doing a jump cut, and I'm doing this all in one sitting. All right. We're back. It's 2:40. Let's see. It's 2:48. We're still completely good. All right, where were we? Basement, condemned building. Dent, I love you. Dent hangs up the phone. Taped to a chair in front of Dent, the Joker's thug, blindfolded. Dent rips off the blindfold. Fire escape, nighttime. Maroni opens his eyes. Batman is holding him by the collar. Batman, I want the Joker. Maroni looks down, from one professional to another. If you're trying to scare someone, pick a better spot. From this height, the fall wouldn't kill me. Batman, I'm counting on it. Batman, let's go. Maroni falls and screams. Sidewalk, night. Maroni nails the pavement, clutches at his leg, which is badly broken. Batman flies down, landing over him, hauls him up. Maroni hollers in pain. Batman, where is he? Maroni, I don't know. He found us. Batman, he must have friends. Maroni, friends? You met this guy? Batman, someone knows where he is. Maroni looks up at Batman, sneering. Maroni, no one's going to tell you anything. They're wise to your act. You got rules. The Joker, he's got no rules. No one's going to cross him for you. You want this guy, you got one way, and you already know what that is. Just take off that mask and let him come find you. Batman drops Maroni. Maroni, or you want to let a couple more people get killed while you make up your mind. Basement, condemned building. Dent shows the Joker's thug a gun. Bullets, loads the gun, shoves it in his face. Dent, you want to play games? Dent pushes the gun against the thug's head with real malice, pulls it away and fires. The thug flinches. Dent puts the gun barrel against the thug's temple. Joker's thug, you wouldn't, and pulls his lucky coin out of his pocket. Dent, no, I wouldn't. That's why I'm not going to leave it up to me. Shows him coin. Heads, you get to keep your head. Tails, not so lucky. So you want to tell me about the Joker? The thug, scared, says nothing. Dent flicks the coin into the air, slaps it onto the back of his gun hand, aiming with wrist horizontal. Dent shows him the coin. Heads. The thug exhales, shaking. Dent, go again? Joker's thug, sobbing. I don't know anything. Dent, you're not playing the odds, friend. Dent tosses the coin again. This time it doesn't land. Dent looks up. Batman is there. Batman, you'd leave a man's life to chance? Dent, not exactly. Batman, his name's Schiff, Thomas. He's a paranoid schizophrenic, a former patient at Arkham. The kind of mind that Joker attracts. Batman moves away from Schiff. Batman, what do you expect to learn from him? Dent is shivering with frustration. Dent, the Joker killed Gordon and Loeb. He's going to kill Rachel. Batman, you're the symbol of hope that I could never be. Your stand against organized crime is the first legitimate ray of light in Gotham for decades. If anyone saw this, everything would be undone. All the criminals you got off the streets would be released, and Jim Gordon will have died for nothing. Batman hands Dent his lucky coin. Batman, you're going to call a press conference tomorrow morning. Dent, why? Batman, no one else will die because of me. Gotham is in your hands now. Dent, you can't give in. But Batman is gone. Bedroom, Wayne penthouse, nighttime. Rachel watches Gotham through the window. Wayne enters. Rachel, Harvey called. He says Batman is going to turn himself in. Wayne, I have no choice. Rachel, you honestly think it's going to stop the Joker from killing? Wayne, perhaps not, but I've seen enough blood on my hands. I've seen now what I would have to become to stop men like him. Rachel looks at Wayne. She cannot help him. Wayne, you once told me that if the day came when I was finished. Wayne moves towards her. Wayne, we'd be together. Rachel, Bruce, don't make me your one hope for a normal life. Wayne takes her in his arm. Wayne, but did you mean it? Rachel, yes. They kiss, then separate. She looks sadly into his eyes. Rachel, but they won't let us be together after you turn yourself in. Wayne nods, leaves. She watches him go. Bat bunker. Alfred shovels documents into an incinerator. Blueprints, designs, files. He pauses, looking down at a book. Alfred, even the logs? Wayne, anything that could lead me back to Lucius or Rachel. Alfred tosses the book onto the fire. Stares at Wayne. Wayne, people are dying, Alfred. What would you have me do? Alfred looks into Wayne's eyes with a fearsome gaze. Endure, Master Wayne. Take it. They'll hate you for it. But that's the point of Batman. He can be the outcast. He can make the choice no one else can face. The right choice. Wayne shakes his head. Wayne, today I found out what Batman can't do. He can't endure this. Wayne, rueful smile. Today you get to say, I told you say. Alfred, today I don't want to. Beat, although I did bloody tell you. Wayne sinks the bat suit. Alfred closes the incinerator. They head for the lift. Alfred, I suppose they'll lock me up as well. Your accomplice. Wayne, accomplice? I'm going to tell them the whole thing was your idea. They power down, leaving the bat bunker in darkness. Press room, Superior Court. A capacity crowd of reporters, cops, and public. Dent is at the podium. Wayne sits in the crowd. Dent, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. I've called this press conference for 2 reasons. Firstly, to assure the citizens of Gotham that everything that can be done over the Joker killing is being done. Secondly, because the Batman has offered to turn himself in. The crowd reacts. Heckler. So where is he? Dent. But first, let's consider the situation. Should we give in to this terrorist's demands? Do we really think that... Reporter. You'd rather protect an outlaw vigilante than the lives of citizens? The crowd noisily assents. Dent calmly motions quiet. Dent. The Batman is an outlaw. Wayne penthouse. Rachel is watching the press conference on TV. Dent. But that's not why we're demanding he turn himself in. We're doing it because we're scared. We've been happy to let Batman clean up our streets for us until now. Press room, Superior Court. Heckler. Things are worse than ever. Wayne looks at the heckler, at the angry crowd. Dent leans over the podium, impassioned. Dent. Yes, they are. But the night is darkest just before the dawn. And I promise you, the dawn is coming. The crowd quiets. One day, the Batman will have to answer for the laws he's broken. But to us, not to this madman. The crowd seems moved by his words. Then a chant. Cop heckler. No more dead cops. Appreciative noise. Reporter. Where is the Batman? People take up the chant. Dent has lost him. He knows it. Dent. So be it. Turns to officers. Take the Batman into custody. At this, a hush descends. Wayne is sitting towards the back. Hungry eyes scan the room. Wayne starts to rise. Dent offers his own wrist to the officers. Dent. I am the Batman. A beat. Wayne stares. Wayne penthouse. Rachel stares as Dent is arrested on TV, appalled. Wayne penthouse. Daytime. Rachel comes up to Alfred, upset. Rachel. Why is he letting Harvey do this, Alfred? Alfred. I don't know. He went down to the press conference. Rachel. And he just stood by? Alfred. Perhaps both Bruce and Mr. Dent believe that Batman stands for something more important than a terrorist's whims. Miss Doss. Even if everyone hates him for it. That's the sacrifice he's making to not be a hero, to be something more. Rachel, well, you're right about one thing. Letting Harvey take the fall is not heroic. Rachel holds out an envelope. Rachel, you know Bruce best, Alfred. Give it to him when the time is right. Alfred, how will I know? Rachel, it's not sealed. Alfred takes the envelope. Rachel gives him a kiss. Rachel, goodbye, Alfred. Alfred, goodbye, Rachel. Cell, MCU, evening. A detective unlocks the cell and lets Rachel inside. Dent, I'm sorry, I didn't have time to talk this through with you. Rachel, don't offer yourself as bait, Harvey. Dent, they're transferring me to Central Holding. This is the Joker's chance, and when he attacks, Batman will take him down. Rachel, no, this is too dangerous. The detective knocks. Dent rises. Courtyard, MCU, evening. Detectives stare at Dent as he is led, shackled, to the waiting convoy. Stevens begins clapping. A handful join in, but most remain silent. Rachel follows him to the back of an armored vehicle. Rachel, he's using you as bait, but he doesn't know if he can get the Joker. He's failed so far. Dent, how do you know what he's thinking? Rachel, B. I just do, okay? Harvey, this isn't about you. This isn't just about you. What about all the people counting on you to turn the city around? Tell everyone the truth. Dent kisses her, pulls out his lucky coin. Dent, heads I go through with it. Rachel, this is your life. You don't leave something like this to chance. Dent tosses it at her. Rachel catches it, looks. Head. Dent, sincere. I'm not. She turns it over. It is double-headed. She looks up. The doors close on his smile. She shakes her head, torn. Rachel, you make your own luck. As SWATs file into the back of the support vehicles. Acting Commissioner, we get this guy to county and he's their problem. The streets along your route will be cleared. The convoy stops for no reason. Armored car. A SWAT with a shotgun climbs into the cab. Pulls on his mask. Looks over at the driver who's already wearing his. Shotgun SWAT. Hope you've got some moves. 10th Avenue, downtown. The convoy rockets past a roadblock. Armored car. The SWATs are staring at Dent, fascinated. He smiles. Intersection. An officer holding up traffic. A truck pulls up. Officer, you wait like everybody else, pal. A shotgun blast sends the officer flying. A second blast illuminates the shooter's face. The Joker. Lead patrol car convoy. The SWAT behind the wheel of the lead black and white slows as he sees something burning in the intersection ahead. Avenue. Overhead, a police helicopter checks the route, hovering above a burning fire truck blocking the road. Armored car. The driver is all business. The radio crackles. Radio. All units, be advised. All units will exit down Cheviot West and proceed north on Lower 5th Avenue. Shotgun SWAT. Lower 5th will be like ducks in a barrel down there. Surface streets. The convoy disappears down the exit ramp. Lower 5th Avenue. The convoy rolls through the subterranean streets. A garbage truck pulls up behind and casually swipes the rear vehicles off the convoy off the road. Armored car. Shotgun SWAT. Get us out of here. The driver nails the gas. Lower 5th. The garbage truck pushes hard on the armored car, ramming its rear bumper, forcing it forward. Armored car. The driver watches the truck fill his rear view. Shotgun SWAT picks up the radio. Shotgun SWAT. We've got company back here. Lower 5th Avenue. A second truck smashes into the SWAT van at the head of the convoy, smashing it through the concrete barriers and into the river. The truck is branded Laughter, but and S has been spayed at the front to make slaughter, with haha all over the side. The Joker's truck dodges between the support columns and into the oncoming lane, pulls alongside the armored car. The driver looks over. The cargo door on the truck slides open. Inside, the Joker, holding a machine gun. The armored car locks up its brakes, but the garbage truck pushes it forward as the Joker fires, bullets slamming into the side of the vehicle. Rear cabin, armored car. Dent is as calm as the SWATs flinch from bullet indentations. Up front, armored car. Shotgun SWAT stares at the Joker. Rear trailer of truck. The Joker drops his machine gun and picks up an RPG. He stops, sees something ahead, racing towards the second truck, the Batmobile. The Joker stares, fascinated, as the Batmobile plows straight into the second truck. The low-profile car is sending the truck up into the concrete ceiling. The Batmobile carries on through as the truck disintegrates. Truck. The Joker looks back to the Batmobile, amused. Joker's thug. Is that him? The Joker. Anyone could be driving that thing. Stay on dent. The Joker lines up his RPG and prepares to fire it. Armored car. Shotgun SWAT's eyes go wide at the Joker's weapon. The driver jams the brakes. Lower fifth. The armored car crashes back against the garbage truck, braking, scraping, slowing just enough. The RPG slams into the squad car in front of them and explodes. The armored car bursts through the fireball and continues. The Batmobile spins around to join the pursuit. Joker's truck. Nighttime. The Joker turns his men to reload his RPG. The Joker. Do me up. Turns back. Levels his RPG out the window. Aims. Batmobile. Batman watches as the Joker prepares to fire. Several rows of cars separate them. He toggles the afterburner. Passenger car. Two small children in the back of the car watch as the Batmobile rockets overhead. Lower level street. The Joker steadies the RPG and fires. The Batmobile crashes down into the open space between the two vehicles, taking the hit from the RPG, which explodes. The rear of the Batmobile explodes, spinning the flaming car. Armored car. SWATs react to the explosion. Dent is calm. Cab of Joker's truck. The driver takes a debris hit to the head. Truck. The Joker cackles with delight as he is thrown around the rear of the trailer. Batmobile. Batman wrestles the pod controls, spinning on the gyro. Lower level street. The Batmobile flips over to come to rest in a smoking heap, the front end intact. Rear wheels scattered across the roadway. A small crowd gathers. Lower level street. The Joker jumps down from the truck, still giggling like a kid, looks back at the Batmobile's destruction. The Joker. Whoever he was, he ain't now. The Joker yanks his dead driver out of the cab, jumps over him to take the wheel and pull back onto the roadway. Lower level street. The armored car pulls ahead, the Joker's truck in hot pursuit. Armored car. Shotgun SWAT glances in the rearview mirror, slaps the dash. Shotgun SWAT. Let's get topside. We need that air support. Lower level street. The armored car pulls onto a ramp, heading up. The Joker's truck follows. Lower level street. People stare at the smoking wreck, inching closer. Batmobile. Batman adjusts his position, hits a button. Batmobile voice. Damage catastrophic. Initiate, eject, and self-destruct. All guards grab Batman's forearms as explosive bolts. Armed guards grab Batman's forearms as explosive bolts fire all around the pod. Goodbye. Lower level street. The crowd jumps. Panels of the front of the car blow out. The crowd stares, open mouth, as Batman emerges, hoisted up and out of the flaming car by the front pod, levering over the front wheel. The pod pushes the other wheel in front to form a type of motorcycle. The Batpod shoots forward, bursting free as the Batmobile detonates, dying in a massive fireball. Batman's cape sucks together, forming a tight pack on his shoulders, clear of the churning rear tire of the Batpod. Parkside. The armored car races down the street. The chopper dips low. Pilot. We're back on point and ready to give some of their own medicine. Police chopper. A cop pulls out an assault rifle, cocks it. Cab of Joker's truck. The Joker fights with the truck's gearbox, turns to his thug. Tee him up. The thug grabs his radio. Fire escape. A Joker thug in a clown mask loads up the cable gun seen in the bank heist. Second fire escape. Another thug loads his own cable gun. Passenger car. Lower level street. A motorist stares through his rear view mirror, transfixed as the Batpod tears past. He yelps as the Batpod smashes the wing mirror from his car. Lower level street. Batman accelerates, oblivious to the staccato of cleaved wing mirrors as the Batpod razors through the traffic, crosses a busy intersection. The Batpod cuts off the crowded lower level street, roaring over into the parking lanes. Batman squeezes his triggers, blasting at parked cars, blowing them out of the way, literally canoning a path for the pod. Train station. The Batpod canons. Literally cannoning a path for the pod. The Batpod cannons through the glass doors and races through the station/mall, commuters screaming and diving out of the way. The Batpod races up the stairs and onto the upper street. Parkside. The Joker's thugs fire the cable across the street at 7th floor level. They pull tout as the chopper approaches, unawares. The chopper catches on the cables, going down in a fiery ball that barrels along the street towards the armored car. Armored car. The driver steers around the flaming wreckage as the shotgun SWAT shuts his eyes. Narrow alley. The Batpod tears down a narrow alley blocked with dumpsters, cannons the dumpsters to make a path. Cab of Joker's truck. The Joker hands the wheel to his man, takes a submachine gun. Thug. Boss. The Joker looks ahead to see the Batpod emerge from the alley in the cloud of fire. Skidding sideways impossibly, it races towards them. The Joker. Guess it was him. Parkside. Nighttime. The Batpod races straight at the Joker's truck, fires a harpoon at the Joker's truck. It impacts low, below the bumper. Truck. The Joker's thug ducks, then comes back up, beaming. Joker's thug. He missed. Parkside. Batman swerves past the Joker's trucks, slaloms, wrapping the cables around a lamppost, spinning to a halt to watch. Parkside. The cable goes taut, ripping one post from its foundation. The truck's front wheels catch, flipping it over the end. The Joker crawls from the wreckage. He jumps over the median and starts waving his pistol at oncoming traffic. Batman guns the Batpod and rides it up and over the median. The driver slows the car. Armored car. The driver slows the car, pulls to the side. Shotgun SWAT. What the hell are you doing? Parkside. The Joker walks towards the Batpod, which speeds towards him. He's firing his gun randomly at the oncoming traffic. The Joker. Hit me. Come on, hit me. Batman watches as the Joker holds out his arms, waiting for impact. There's no room to go around him. Batman locks up the brakes. The Joker watches as Batman dumps the bike rather than smashing into him. Batman slams into the wall. The Joker's thug reach Batman first. He is unconscious. The first thug pulls at the mask. An electric shock from the batsuit throws him back. The Joker laughs, flicks his switchblade, crouches. Voice. Drop it. The Joker. Just give me a second. The gun is cocked. The Joker drops the knife, sits, looks back. Behind them is the armored car. The man standing over him is the driver. He pulls off his helmet. It's Jim Gordon, back from the dead. Gordon. We got you, you son of a bitch. Armored car. Dent looks up as the door swings open to reveal Gordon. Dent grins. Dent, Lieutenant, you do like to play it pretty close to the chest. Gordon, we got him, Harvey. Dent nods, respect in his eyes. They shake hands. A small army of cops have sealed off the roadway. Gordon pulls away in the squad car containing the Joker. Reporters clamor for an interview with Dent, who is being helped out of the van by the SWATs. Ramirez pushes through the pack, shoving reporters aside. Ramirez, let him be. He's been through enough. Dent follows Ramirez to a squad car. Wirtz is in the driver's seat. Dent smiles at Ramirez as she opens the rear door. Dent, thanks, detective. I've got a date with a pretty upset fiancé. I figured, counselor. Ramirez shuts the door on Dent, signals Wirtz to pull out. Holding, MCU, Gotham Central. The Joker sits in a holding cage. His makeup has run. His clothes a mess, but his calm lends him an odd dignity. Cops smash their nightsticks against the bars near the Joker's head. The Joker does not flinch. Gordon, stand away, all of you. I don't want anything for his mob lawyer to use. Understand? Handle this guy like he's made of glass. The mayor walks in, shakes Gordon's hands. Mayor, back from the dead. Gordon, I couldn't chance my family's safety. The mayor looks over at the Joker in his cage. Mayor, what do we got? Gordon, nothing. No matches on prints, DNA, dental, clothing is custom, no labels, nothing in his pockets but knives and lint, no name, no other alias, nothing. Mayor, go home, Gordon. The clown will keep till morning. Get some rest. You're going to need it. Tomorrow, you take the big job. Off look. You don't have any say in the matter. Louder for all. Commissioner Gordon. The cops and MCU start cheering. Gordon, home. Gordon rings the bell. Barbara answers it, dressed in black. Gordon, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't risk. She slaps Gordon. He grabs her, holds her tight as she sobs. Holding MCU, Gotham Central. The Joker's men are processed in the harsh light. The men look a little ridiculous in their clown makeup. Detective Murphy turns to Stevens. Detective, look at these ugly bastards. One of the men walks over, clutching at his belly. Fat thug. I don't feel good. Detective Murphy. You're a cop killer. You're lucky to be feeling anything below the neck. Alone in his cage, the Joker smiles at this. Kid's bedroom. Gordon home. Gordon crouches by his son's bedside. He reaches out to touch James Jr.'s cheek. James' eyes open, staring at his dad as if he's still dreaming. James whispers, "Did Batman save you, Dad?" Gordon looks at his son. A little pride seeps in. Gordon, "Actually, this time I saved him." Gordon's phone rings. Major Crimes Unit, Gotham Central. Gordon pushes through the swarm of detectives crowded into the observation room. The Joker can be seen through the glass as well as on a large monitor, sitting there, calm. Gordon, has he said anything yet? Ramirez shakes her head. Gordon pushes through a door. Interrogation, MCU, Gotham Central. The Joker, in near darkness. Gordon walks in, sits. The Joker, "Evening, Commissioner." Gordon, "Harvey Dent never made it home." The Joker, "Of course not." Gordon, "What have you done with him?" The Joker laughs. "Me? I was right here. Who did you leave him with? Your people? Assuming, of course, that they are your people, not Maroni's." Off look. "Does it depress you, Lieutenant, to know how alone you are?" Gordon can't help glancing at the mounted camera. The Joker, "Does it make you feel responsible for Harvey Dent's current predicament?" Gordon, "Where is he?" The Joker, "What time is it?" Gordon, "What difference does that make?" The Joker, "Depending on the time, he might be in one spot." Smiles, "Or several." Gordon stands, moves to the Joker, undoes his handcuffs. Gordon, "If we're going to play games, I'm going to need a cup of coffee." The Joker, "The good cop, bad cop routine?" Gordon pauses, hand on the doorknob. "Not exactly." Gordon steps out. The overhead lights come on. Batman is behind him. The Joker blinks in the harsh white light. Wham! The Joker's face hits the table, comes up for air. Crack! Crack to the head. Batman is in front of him. The Joker stares, fascinated, bleeding. The Joker, "Never start with the head. Victim gets fuzzy, can't feel the next." Crack! Batman's fist smacks down on the Joker's fingers. The Joker, calm. "See? Batman, you wanted me, here I am." The Joker, "I wanted to see what you do. And you didn't disappoint." Laughs. "You let 5 people die, then you let Dent take your place. Even a guy like me, that's cold." Batman, "Where's Dent?" The Joker, "Those mob fools want you gone so they can get back to the way things were. But I know the truth. There's no going back. You've changed things. Forever." The Batman, "Then why do you want to kill me?" The Joker starts laughing. After a moment, he's laughing so hard it sounds like sobbing. The Joker, "Kill you? I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? Go back to ripping off mob dealers? No, you complete me." Batman, "You're garbage who kills for money." The Joker, "Don't talk like one of them. You're not, even if you'd like to be. To them, you're a freak, like me. They just need you right now." He regards Batman with something approaching pity. The Joker, "But as soon as they don't, they'll cast you out like a leper." The Joker looks into Batman's eyes, searching. "Their morals, their code, it's a bad joke, dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. You'll see, I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other up." Grins. "See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve." Batman grabs the Joker and pulls him upright. Observation room, MCU, Gotham Central. One of the detectives moves for the door. Gordon stops him. Gordon, "He's in control." Interrogation room, MCU, Gotham Central. Batman hoists the Joker up by the neck. Batman, "Where's Dent?" The Joker, "You have these rules, and you think they'll save you." Batman, "I have one rule." The Joker, "Then that's the one you'll have to break to know the truth." Batman, "Which is?" The Joker smiles. The only sensible way to live in this world is without rules. Tonight, you're going to break your one rule." Batman leans into the Joker. Batman, "I'm considering it." The Joker, "There are just minutes left, so you'll have to play my little game if you want to save, with relish, one of them." Batman, "Them?" The Joker, "For a while, I thought you really were Dent, the way you threw yourself after her." Batman drops the Joker, rips up a bolted-down chair. Observation room, MCU. Gordon moves for the door. Observation room, MCU. Batman jams a chair under the doorknob, picks up the Joker, and hurls him into the two-way glass. The glass spiders. Interrogation room, MCU. The Joker, bleeding from nose and mouth, laughs at Batman. The Joker, Look at you go. Does Harvey know about you and his... The Joker smashes into the wall, slides to the floor. Batman stands over him. A man possessed. Batman, where are they? He grabs the Joker, holding him close. The Joker, killing. Killing is making a choice. Batman punches the Joker across the face, hard. Batman, where are they? The Joker feeds off Batman's anger, loving it. You choose one life over the other. Your friend, the district attorney, or his blushing bride-to-be. Batman punches the Joker again. The Joker laughs. The Joker, you have nothing. Nothing to threaten me with. Nothing to do with all your strength. Spits a tooth. But don't worry. I'm going to tell you where they are. Both of them. And that's the point. You'll have to choose. The Batman stares at the Joker. The Joker, he's at 250 52nd Boulevard, and she's on Avenue X Cicero. Batman drops him. Observation room, MCU, Gotham. Batman races past Gordon. Gordon, which one are you, Batman? Dent knew the risks. Gordon looks back. The Joker is bloody but grinning. MCU, Gotham Central. Several cops see Batman climb onto the Batpod and tear off. Streets, Gotham. Batman swerves into oncoming traffic, chaos in his wake. Gotham Central. Gordon and his men scramble into their cars. Basement, apartment. Black. Rachel, can anyone hear me? Harvey Dent opens his eyes. He's bound to a chair in a dingy, unfurnished basement apartment. Dent, Rachel, is that you? Rachel sobbing. Harvey, you're okay. I thought... Her voice is coming from a speakerphone on the floor. Dent, it's okay, Rachel. Everything's going to be just fine. He looks around. Behind him, metal barrels hooked up to a car battery with a timer counting down. 5 minutes. Interrogation room, MCU. The Joker sits, smiling, content. Stevens guards the door. The Joker, I want my phone call. Stevens, that's nice. The Joker, how many of your friends have I killed? Stevens, I'm a 20-year man. I can tell the difference between punks who need a little lesson in manners and the freaks like you who would just enjoy it. Quiet, and you killed 6 of my friends. Holding area, MCU. The fat thug shuffles to the bars where a cop stands guard. Fat thug, agony. Please, my insides hurt. Cop, step away from the bars. Fat thug, the boss said he would make the voices go away. He said he would go inside and replace them with bright lights, like Christmas. Cop, that's great. Please step. The fat thug collapses. The cop grabs his radio. Warehouse. Rachel is bound to a chair. Behind her are barrels identical to the ones behind Dent. Can you move your chair? Dent, can you move your chair? Rachel, no, Harvey, we don't have much time. The timer connected to the bomb reads 2.47, ... 2.46. Basement apartment. Dent drags his chair, inching closer to the barrels. Dent, look for something to free yourself. The chair jams against a ridge in the floor. Dent strains to reach the timer, inches shy. Rachel, they said only one of us was going to make it, that they let our friends choose. Dent strains. The chair and Dent topple over, knocking over a barrel. Rachel, Harvey, what's happening? Dent, one side of his face pressed against the bare floor, watches the open barrel spew diesel fuel around him. Dent, nothing. I'm trying to... Dent contorts his head to keep from swallowing any. Streets, Gotham. The Batpod skids sideways, wheels flipping as the gyro keeps Batman upright on the tumbling bike. It comes to a rest. Guns lined up with a fire exit. Blows the door off its hinges. Jumps off the bike. 52nd Street, Gotham. Gridlock. Gordon swerves onto the sidewalk. People scatter. Interrogation room, MCU. The Joker sits like a kid kept after class. He smiles. The Joker. You know why I use a knife, detective? Guns are too quick. You don't get to savor all the little emotions. See, in their last moments, people show you who they really are. Steven tries hard to ignore him. It isn't working. The Joker. So in a way, I knew your friends better than you ever did. Smiles. Would you like to know which of them were really cowards? Stevens rolls up sleeve. I know you're going to enjoy this, but I'm going to enjoy it more. Steven punches the Joker in the gut. Basement apartment. Dent is half submerged in diesel fuel. Rachel. Harvey, in case... I want you to know something. Dent chokes, his emotions overwhelming him. Dent, don't think like that, Rachel. They're coming for you. I know, but I don't want them to. Warehouse. Rachel looks at the timer. 10 seconds left. Rachel, I don't want to live without you, because I do have an answer, and my answer is yes. Holding area, MCU, Gotham Central. A medic cuts away the fat thug's shirt. His belly has a large incision, which has been closed with crude-looking stitches. Medic, he's got some kind of contusion. A rectangular shape is visible under the skin above his navel. Detective's room, MCU, Gotham Central. Steven shuffles out into the room, a piece of broken glass held to his throat by the Joker. Cops draw their weapons. Steven, this is my own damn fault. Just shoot him. Detective Murphy, what do you want? The Joker, I want my phone call. The detectives look at each other. One of them pulls out his cell phone, tosses it to the Joker, who begins to dial. Holding area, MCU, Gotham Central. The medic gingerly presses the rectangle. It illuminates a soft blue light visible through the skin. Cop, is that a phone? Detective's room, MCU. The Joker presses send. At the end of the room, the door to the holding area explodes. Hallway. Tenement. Batman sprints down the hall, stops at a door, kicks it. 52nd Street, Gotham. Cars pull up. Gordon gets out, carrying a fire axe. Hallway. Tenement. Batman kicks the door, gives. Batman smashes it open. Batman basement apartment. Batman bursts through the door. Dent looks up in horror. Dent, no, not me. Why did you come for me? Batman stares at Dent. The Joker lied. The counter hits 5 seconds. Batman drags Dent out. Dent fights to stay. Dent, Rachel, Harvey, it's okay. Dent, Rachel, 52nd Street, Gotham. Gordon, axe in hand, runs towards the entrance. Warehouse. Rachel can hear Dent. The counter runs out. Rachel, calm. Somewhere, an explosion, all-consuming. 52nd Street, Gotham. The blast hurls Gordon backward onto the hood of his car. The entire warehouse is an enormous explosion. Basement apartment. Batman wraps his cape around Dent and hurls them both through the door. Dent is screaming. 52nd Street, Gotham. Gordon picks himself up. The warehouse is an inferno. He heads for it anyways. Five of his men have to restrain him. Alleyway, Gotham. A second explosion. Batman covers Dent as the fireball hits them, igniting the diesel soaking Dent's left side. He starts burning and stops screaming. Batman rolls Dent on the wet pavement. Dent sizzles, silent. Special holding area, MCU, Gotham Central. The Joker walks to the bars of another cell, grins. The Joker, hello there. In his cell, terrified, Lau. Ambulance, continuous. Dent is wheeled into an ambulance, bandages held to his face. His one visible eye stares blankly, oblivious to the panic. 52nd Street. Gordon watches the fire. Debris blows across the asphalt. Gordon picks up two pieces, singed Joker cards. In place of the Joker's face is a photo of Lau. A police sergeant approaches. Sergeant, Dent's alive, Jim. But back at MCU, the Joker's gone. Gordon, with Lau? The cop nods. The Joker planned to be caught. He wanted me to lock him up in a MCU. Streets, downtown Gotham. A squad car blazes down the street. The Joker sticks his head out the window like a dog, feeling the wind. Kitchen, Wayne penthouse. Alfred sits at the table reading the letter from Rachel. Rachel, dear Bruce, I need to explain. 52nd Street. Water, smoldering blackness. The fire crews extinguish the last flames of the devastated building. A fireman nudges his colleague, pointing out something in the devastation. Rachel, I need to be honest and clear. I'm going to marry Harvey Dent. Intensive care unit. Dawn, glimpses of Dent's damaged face as surgeons surround him. Rachel, voiceover. I love him. I want to spend the rest of my life with him. 52nd Street. The firemen watch a statue-like figure amidst the charred ruins. The Batman. Rachel, voiceover. When I told you that if Gotham no longer needed Batman, we could be together, I meant it. MCU, Gotham Central. Gordon surveys the wreckage of MCU, the bodies. Rachel, voiceover. But I'm not sure the day will come. 52nd Street. Batman bends to the ground on one knee, his black glove spread against the smoldering debris. Rachel, voiceover. When you no longer need Batman, I hope it does, and if it does, I will be there. He spots something. Dent's two-headed coin, blackened, scarred. Batman turns it over. The other side is pristine. Kitchen, Wayne penthouse. Alfred reads. Rachel, voiceover. But as your friend, I'm sorry to let you down. Hospital room. Dent, heavily bandaged, hooked up to various machines. Batman stands at the front of his bed, watching. Rachel. If you lose your faith in me, please keep your faith in people. Batman. I'm sorry, Harvey. Batman puts Dent's damaged coin on the bedside table. Kitchen. Wayne penthouse. Rachel, voiceover. Love, now and always. Rachel. Alfred finishes the letter, tears in his eyes. He folds it back into its envelope, places it on the breakfast tray. Wayne penthouse. Alfred moves through the silent space, stepping past the cowl and gauntlets lying on the cold marble. He approaches Wayne, half undressed, slumped in a chair, watching Gotham. Alfred, I prepared a little breakfast. Nothing. Alfred sets down the tray. The envelope is propped against the silver teapot. Alfred, very well. Wayne, Alfred. Alfred? Alfred, yes, Master Wayne. Wayne turns, a desperate look in his eyes. Wayne, did I bring this on us, on her? Thought I would inspire good, not madness. Alfred, you have inspired good, but you spat in the face of Gotham's criminals. Didn't you think there might be casualties? Things were always going to have to get worse before they got better. Wayne, but Rachel, Alfred, Rachel believed in what you stood for, what we stand for. Wayne looks up at Alfred. Alfred picks up the cowl. Alfred, Gotham needs you. Wayne, Gotham needs its hero, and I let the Joker blow him half to hell. Alfred, which is why, for now, they'll have to make do with you. Alfred hands him the cowl. Wayne looks at him. Wayne, she was going to wait for me, Dent. Dent doesn't know. He can never know. Alfred glances at the envelope, takes it off the tray. Wayne, what's that? Alfred, it can wait. Alfred puts the envelope in his pocket. Wayne, the bandit, in the forest, in Burma, did you catch him? Alfred nods. How? Alfred, uneasy. We burned the forest down. Downtown Gotham, daytime. A National Guard helicopter roars over Gotham General. Hospital room. Daytime. Dent, bandaged, sedated, coming up for air. Sees something on the table. His coin. He fumbles for it, marveling at its shiny face. Remembering. Insert cut. Rachel catches the coin. Dent turns the coin over. The other side is devastated. He stares at the scarred face. Starts ripping his bandages. Wayne penthouse, daytime. Alfred comes up to Wayne, points him to the TV. Alfred, you need to see this. On screen, Engel, in his studio, addresses the camera. Engel. He's a credible source, an A&M lawyer for a prestigious consultancy. He says he's waited as long as he can for the Batman to do the right thing. The shot cuts to Reese, nodding. Engel, now he's taking matters into his own hands. We'll be live at 5 with the true identity of the Batman. Stay with us. Hospital room. Gordon enters. Dent stares to one side. He looks normal. Gordon, I'm sorry about Rachel. Nothing. The doctor says you're in agonizing pain, but you won't accept medication. That you're refusing skin grafts. Dent, remember the name you all had for me when I was at Internal Affairs? What was it, Gordon? Gordon, Harvey, I can't. Dent, say it. Dent's anger makes Gordon flinch. He looks away, ashamed. Gordon, small. Two-Face. Harvey Two-Face. Dent turns to face Gordon. The left side of Dent's face is destroyed, skin blackened and shriveled. Molars visible. The eye a ball and socket. Dent manages a small smile with the good side of his face. Dent, why should I hide who I am? Gordon, I know you tried to warn me. I'm sorry. Wirtz picked you up. Was he working for them? Nothing. Do you know who picked up Rachel? Nothing. Harvey, I need to know which of my men I can trust. Dent looks at Gordon, cold. Dent, why would you listen to me now? Gordon, I'm sorry, Harvey. Dent, no. No, you're not. Not yet. Gordon takes a last look at Dent, then leaves. Corridor, hospital. Gordon steps out. Someone is there. Maroney, on crutches. Gordon stares at him, cold. Maroney shifts, awkward. Maroney, this craziness, this is too much. Gordon, you should have thought of that before you let the clown out of the box. Maroney, you want him? I can tell you where he'll be this afternoon. Abandoned docks. The Chechen gets out of his SUV, looks at a rusted hulk. The Chechen, bodyguards, and dogs head up the gangplank. Rusted hulk. They pass into a huge hold in the middle, $1 billion. The pile is 30 feet high. Standing on top, the Joker. At his feet, bound, is Lao. The Chechen laughs. Chechen, like I say, not so crazy as you look. The Joker jumps from the top, slides down the pile. The Joker, I told you I'm a man of my word. Looks around. Where's the Italian? The Chechen shrugs, pulls out a cigar, lights it. Chechen, more for us. What do you do with all your money, Mr. Joker? The Joker grabs a can of gasoline from his thug. The Joker, I'm a man of simple tastes. I like gunpowder. Dynamite. He's splashing gasoline onto the money. The Joker, gasoline. The Chechen, furious, steps forward. The Joker turns, jabs his gun into the Chechen's face. The Chechen's bodyguards react. The Joker's men draw on them. The Joker, and you know what they have in common? They're cheap. You said you were a man of your word. The Joker plucks the cigar from the Chechen's lips. The Joker, I am. The Joker tosses the cigar at the pile. The Joker, I'm only burning my half. The Chechen watches the money catch fire. The Joker, all you care about is money. This city deserves a better class of criminals, and I'm going to give it to them. This is my town now. Tell your men they work for me. The Joker crouches down to the Chechen's dogs. They growl. Chechen, they won't work for a freak. The Joker takes out a knife, tosses it to his man. The Joker, cut him up and offer him to his little princess. Let's show him just how loyal a hungry dog is. The Joker's men grab the Chechen. The Joker, it's not about the money. It's about sending a message. The Joker watches the towering flames. Lao screams. The Joker, everything burns. Everything burns. The Joker pulls out a phone. Television studio. Day. Reese has a confident air. Angle is taking calls. I want to know how much they're going to pay you to say who Batman really is. Reese, that's simply not why I'm doing this. Angle, caller, you're on air. You're on the air. Caller 2. Harvey Dent didn't want us to give in to this maniac. You think you know better than him? Whoops. Harvey Dent didn't want us to give in to this maniac. You think you know better than him? Angle, guy's got a point. Dent didn't want Batman to give himself up. Is this the right thing to do? Reese, if we could talk to Dent now, he might feel differently. Angle, and we wish him a speedy recovery. God knows we need him now. Let's take another call. Old lady, Mr. Reese, what's more valuable, 1 life or 100? Reese, I guess it would depend on the life. Old lady, okay, let's say it's your life. Is it worth more than the lives of several hundred others? Reese, of course not. Old lady, I'm glad you feel that way, because I put a bomb in one of the city's hospitals. It's going off in 60 minutes unless someone kills you. Angle, who is this? Old lady, just a concerned citizen. Drops pitch to the Joker's voice. And regular guy. Major Crimes Unit, Gotham Central. Gordon and his men are gearing up to take down the Joker. A detective turns up the TV in the bullpen. The Joker. I had a vision of a world without Batman. The mob ground out a little profit, and the police tried to shut them down, 1 block at a time. And it was so boring. I've had a change of heart. Don't want Mr. Reese spoiling everything, but why should I have all the fun? Let's give someone else a chance. Reese looks around, twitching, sweating. If Coleman Reese isn't dead in 60 minutes, then I blow up a hospital. Of course, you could always kill yourself, Mr. Reese, but that would be the noble thing to do. And you're a lawyer. The line rings off. Angle is speechless. Gordon turns to the uniformed cops. Gordon, call in every officer. Tell them to head to their nearest hospital and start evac and search. Call the transit authority, school board, prisons. Get every available bus down to a hospital. The priority is Gotham General. Wheel everybody out of that place right now. My hunch is that's where the bomb is. Detective Murphy, why? Gordon, that's where Harvey Dent is. The uniforms sprint off. Gordon turns to his detectives. Uniformed cop, where are we going, sir? On screen, Reese is a deer in the headlights. Gordon, to get Reese. Wayne penthouse. Wayne and Alfred move to the elevator. Wayne, I need you plugged in, checking Gordon's men and their families. Alfred, looking for? Wayne, hospital admissions. Alfred, will you be taking the bat pod, sir? Wayne, in the middle of the day? Not very subtle, Alfred. Alfred, the Lamborghini then. Watch as Wayne go. Much more subtle. Much more subtle. Gotham streets, Wayne's Lamborghini tears through downtown. Hospital. Continuous. Chaos. Patients and staff running around. Cops and traffic wardens try to manage the evacuation. The cop station outside dense room look around, unsure. Nurse. Sir, are you going to help? 2 cops move to help wheel gurneys around the corner. Lobby. Television studio. Gordon and his men escort Reese out of the elevator. Angle follows with a camera crew. As they approach the glass doors, Gordon looks out at an angry crowd. Angle. Commissioner, you really think someone would try to... Gordon spots an old man raising a pistol. Gordon throws Reese to the ground as shots shatter the laminated glass of the lobby. The crowd surges in all directions. Gordon, get the cars around back. Gordon hauls Reese to the stairwell. Lamborghini. Wayne slows past the chaos outside this television station. Wayne, I saw O'Brien and Richards. Bat bunker. Alfred types at the computer station. Alfred, nothing on them. No immediate family members admitted to a Gotham hospital. Stairwell television studio. Gordon pulls the shaken Reese down the stairs. Reese, shaken. They're trying to kill me. And into a police van. Police van. Gordon throws Reese into the back, smiles. Gordon, well, maybe Batman will save you. The van peels out, heads out onto the street. Hospital. Cops load patients onto the buses. A TV van pulls up. Angle and his cameraman jump out. One of Dent's bodyguards, Polk, looks into a school bus. Turns to the cop loading it. Polk. Okay, don't put anyone else on. Cops lead patients into buses. Turns to the cop loading it. Polk. Okay, don't put anyone else on. Gets on radio. Davis, I got space. Bring him out. No answer. Davis? Polk heads back towards the hospital against the flow. Lamborghini. Wayne trails the police van from a distance. Wayne, I saw Burns and Zachary and a patrolman I don't know. Alfred. Burns is clean. Zachary. Wayne, there's at least one I don't know. Send the information to Gordon. Police van. Gordon's phone beeps. He looks at a text. Watch out. Cops with relatives in Gotham hospitals. Burke, Ramirez, Till. Dent's hospital room. Polk enters the room. No Davis. Just a red-headed nurse. Back towards him. Reading Dent's chart. Polk. Ma'am, we're going to have to move him. Now. Nothing. Ma'am. The redhead turns. It is the Joker. Silence, pistol in hand. He fires. Gotham streets. The Lamborghini zips around a car to get closer to the van. Police van. Gordon is reading his phone. Erickson, Berg. Gordon looks up sharply, considers the uniformed cop nervously fingering his shotgun. Gordon. Berg, isn't it? The young cop, Berg, looks up, sweating. Berg. Commissioner? Gordon. You okay, son? Berg nods, looks at his watch. Hospital room. The Joker draws closer to Dent's bed. Dent strains at the leather cuffs, bending him to the bed. The Joker. I don't want there to be any hard feelings between us, Harvey. The Joker loosens Dent's restraints. The Joker. When you and Rachel were being abducted, I was sitting in Gordon's cage. I didn't rig those charges. Dent. Your men. Your plan. The Joker. Do I really look like a guy with a plan, Harvey? I don't have a plan. The mob has plans. The cops have plans. You know what I am, Harvey? Dent's hand is trembling. I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. I just do things. I'm just the wrench in the gears. I hate plans. Yours, theirs, everyone's. Maroney has plans. Gordon has plans. Schmear's trying to control their worlds. Schemers trying to control their worlds. I'm not a schemer. I know the schemers how pathetic their attempts to control things really are. So when I say that you and your girlfriend was nothing personal, you know I'm telling the truth. Hands him the pistol, then holds it to the Joker's head. Intersection, Gotham streets. Wayne roars past a line of traffic to settle in a few cars back from the police van, sitting at a red light. Lamborghini. Wayne studies the intersection, spots a pickup jostling for position on the cross street. Police van. Gordon watches Berg, mentally tracing the trajectory of his shotgun barrel as Berg fiddles with his gun. Gordon starts trying to subtly unholster his own weapon. Gordon, I'm gonna need your weapon, son. Berg looks at Gordon. Berg, what? Lamborghini. Wayne watches the driver of the pickup staring intently at the police van, lining it up. Police van. Reese looks from Berg to Gordon. Berg looks at Gordon, trembling, the barrel of his gun inching lower in the car. Berg, why? Because my wife's in the hospital? Gordon, yeah, that would be why. Dent's hospital room. Continuous. The Joker leans in, pressing his head to the gun's barrel. The Joker. It's the schemers who put you where you are. You were a schemer. You had plans. Look where it got you. I just did what I do best. I took your plan and I turned it on itself. Look what I've done to this city with a few drums of gas and a couple of bullets. Nobody panics when the expected people get killed. Nobody panics when things go according to plan, even if the plan is horrifying. If I tell the press that tomorrow a gangbanger will get shot or a truckload of soldiers will be blown up, nobody panics because it's all part of the plan. But when I say that one little old mare will die, everybody loses their minds. Introduce a little anarchy. You upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos. And you know the thing about chaos, Harvey? Dent looks into the Joker's eyes, finding meaning. The Joker. It's fair. Dent looks down at the coin in his hands, turns it over, feels its comforting weight, shows the Joker the good side. Dent, you live. He turns the current coin over. The flip side is deeply scarred. Dent, you die. The Joker looks at the coin, looks at Dent admiringly. The Joker, now you're talking. Dent flicks the coin in the air, catches it, looks. Intersection, Gotham streets. The light turns green. The police van pulls into the intersection. The pickup guns it, racing at it. Lamborghini. Wayne floors it, yanks the wheel to pull up onto the sidewalk. Police van, continuous. Berg licked his lips, nervous. Berg. Mr. Reese? Intersection, Gotham streets. The pickup barrels at the van. Full tilt. At the last second, Wayne's Lamborghini slips alongside the van. The pickup smashes into the Lamborghini. Police van. As the van jolts with the impact, Gordon leaps forward, pushing up Berg's shotgun barrel, which fires into the roof. Gordon smashes Berg onto the head with his sidearm. Intersection, Gotham streets. Gordon's men pull the pickup driver from his cab. Gordon crouches down to the Lamborghini wreck to help pull Wayne from the car. Gordon recognizes him as he pulls him free. Gordon, you okay, Mr. Wayne? Wayne looks at him, woozy, sits on the curb. Wayne, call me Bruce. I think so. Gordon, that was a brave thing you did. Wayne, trying to catch the light. Gordon, you weren't protecting the van? Wayne turns, sees the police van as if it was for the first time. Reese steps down, dazed. Wayne, why? Who's in it? Reese locks eyes with Wayne. Nods. Gordon sizes up Bruce Wayne and his crushed sports car. Gordon sizes up Bruce Wayne and his crushed sports car. Gordon, you don't watch a whole lot of news, do you, Mr. Wayne? Wayne shrugs. It can get a little intense. Think I should go to the hospital? Gordon, not today. I wouldn't. Corridor hospital. The Joker walks calmly through the mostly deserted building. As he walks, he pulls a detonator from his pocket. Strolling along, he pushes the button. Staggering explosions burst into the corridor behind him like demolition blasts. The Joker just walks out the door. Hospital. Continuous. The Joker strolls down the steps. Windows blow out in series. People dive for cover. Ingalls flies into a school bus. The Joker walks across the parking lot, the building collapsing behind him. Intersection, Gotham streets. Gordon hears the explosion. Gordon, Gotham General, grabs his phone. Did you get Dent out? Cop, I think so. Hospital. The cop cowers as debris and smoke blast across the street. The Joker gets onto the bus, nods at his man at the wheel. Hospital. All eyes are on the collapsed building. One school bus pulls out from the line of other buses, heads down the street. Bar, Gotham Heights, daytime. An empty neighborhood dive. The local drunk passed out at the bar. Bartender watching breaking news on the TV. Bartender. Sweet Jesus, do you know this, Mike? They blew up a hospital. You see this, Mike? They blew up a hospital. Detective Wirtz at a booth looks up at the TV, bored. Bartender. Shouldn't you be out there, doing something? Wirtz. It's my day off. The bartender shuts the register. Bartender. I gotta take a leak. Keep an eye on things, will you? Bartender steps out. The back door opens again. Wirtz. What? You need me to shake it for... He trails off as someone sticks a gun in his face. Harvey Dent. Standing in shadow. He sits. Dent. Hello. Wirtz. Dent. I thought you was dead. Dent leans into the light. The left side of his face is hideously burned. Cheek gone. Blackened teeth and gums. Dent. Half. Dent picks up Wirtz's drink. Takes a sip. Wirtz watches the bar's muscles retract as Dent swallows. The bare muscles retract as Dent swallows. Dent. Who picked up Rachel, Wirtz? Wirtz. It must have been Maroney's men. Dent slams the glass back on the table. Wirtz flinches. Dent, you of all people are gonna protect the other traitor in Gordon's unit? Words, I don't know. He'd never tell me. Words, stares at Dent. I swear to God, I didn't know what they were gonna do to you. Dent, funny. I don't know what's going to happen to you either. Dent pulls his coin from his pocket, flips it. Wirtz watches it spin. It lands on the table. Scarred side up. The drunk at the bar stirs at the gunshot. Gotham General, Day. Gordon. Mannix surveys the scene with a cop. Gordon, you must know how many men were inside. You've got patient lists, roll calls. Cop, sir, take a look at what we're dealing with. Cops, National Guard, gestures at bust. We're showing 50 missing, but that building was clear. These buses are heading off to other hospitals. My guess is we missed one. Gordon, yeah? What's your guess about where Harvey Dent is? The cop says nothing. Gordon, keep looking. Keep it to yourself. Fox's office, Wayne Industries. Fox is watching the news. His intercom buzzes. Voice. Mr. Fox, security is showing a break-in at the R&D department. Corridor outside research and development. Fox watches 2 security men force the door. He enters alone. Lab, research and development. Fox enters the dimly lit room. At one end is an extraordinary array of thousands of tiny monitors. Fox approaches, fascinated as they quietly displayed architectural patterns individually and in concert. The images become a map. Batman. Beautiful, isn't it? Fox nods, staring at the monitors as Batman approaches. Fox. Beautiful, unethical, dangerous. You've turned every phone in the city into a microphone. Lucius presses a key. The babble of a million conversations at once fills the room. Every cell phone is in the city. Batman. And high-frequency generator / receiver. Fox. Like the phone I gave you in Hong Kong. You took my sonar concept and applied it to everyone's phone in the city. With half the city feeding you sonar, you can image all of Gotham. Turns to Batman. This is wrong. Batman. I've got to find this man, Lucius. Fox. But at what cost? Batman. The database is null key encrypted. It can only be accessed by one person. Fox. No one should have that kind of power. Wayne. That's why I gave it to you. Only you can use it. Lucius looks at Batman. Hard. Fox. Spying on 30 million people wasn't in my job description. Batman points at a TV screen. Fox turns. On screen, the Joker shakes his head above a graphic. Latest threat. The Joker. What does it take to make you people want to join in? Situation 10 at Gotham General. Gordon watches a screen. Grave. The Joker. You failed to kill the lawyer. I've got to get you off the bench and into the game. So here it is. Bar downtown. The bar packed with business peoples watching the TV. Silent. The Joker. Come nightfall, this city is mine, and anyone left here plays by my rules. If you don't want to be in the game, get out now. Bar patrons start moving. The Joker reaches for the camera. The Joker. But the bridge and tunnel crowd are in for a surprise. Cut to static. The bar patrons look around, confused. Lab, research and development. Fox turns from the TV to look at Batman. Trust me. Batman, trust me. Fox stares at Batman. Batman, this is the audio sample. He plugs a USB dongle into the console. A sample of the Joker's voice from the call-in news program plays. Batman, if he talks within range of any phone in the city, you'll be able to triangulate his position. Lucius toggles a menu. The city is an open book. People working, eating, sleeping. Lucius shakes his head. Batman, when you've finished, type your name to switch it off. Fox, I'll help you this one time. Lucius sits at the console. Batman moves off. Fox, but consider this my resignation. Batman turns. Fox looks at him. Serious. Fox. As long as this machine is at Wayne Industries, I won't be. Various locations, dusk. Gothamites pour out of the city on foot and by car. The bridges and tunnels are deserted, but for bomb squad search teams. City Hall. Gordon briefs the mayor. Gordon, my officers are going over every inch of the tunnels and bridges, but with the Joker's threat, they're not an option. Mayor, land routes east. Gordon, backed up for hours, which leaves the ferries with 30,000 waiting to board. Plus, corrections are at a capacity, so I want to use a ferry to take some prisoners off the island. Mayor, the men you and Dent put away, those aren't people I'm worried about. Gordon, you should be. They're the people you least want to be stuck with in an emergency. Whoever the Joker's planning, it's a good bet that Harvey's prisoners might be involved. I want them out of here. Ferry terminal. At the ferry terminal, National Guardsmen watch over the 30,000 jostling, scared people waiting to board the 2 massive ferries to Seven Sisters. Grumbles turn Grumbles turn to yells as 800 prisoners are loaded onto a ferry by shotgun-toting correction officers. Civilian, this ain't right, or that ain't right. We should be on that boat. National Guardsman, you want to ride across with them? Be my guest. Brownstone, dusk. Maroney climbs into the back of a limo. Maroney settles back into his seat. The car pulls away. Maroney, don't stop for lights, cops, nothing. Dent, going to join your wife? Maroney starts. Someone is in here with him. Harvey Dent, two-faced, leans forward, clutching a pistol. Dent, you love her? Maroney, yes. Dent, can you imagine what it would be like to listen to her die? Maroney, take it up with the Joker. He killed your woman, made you like this. Dent, the Joker is just a mad dog. I want whoever let him off the leash. Maroney looks at Dent, worried. Dent, I took care of Wirtz, but who was your other man inside Gordon's unit who picked up Rachel? It must have been someone she trusted. Maroney, if I tell you, will you let me go? Dent, it can't hurt your chances. Maroney, it was Ramirez. Pulls out his coin. Dent cocks the pistol. Maroney, but you said... Dent, I said it couldn't hurt your chances. Dent flips it. Looks. Good side. He shrugs. Dent, lucky guy. Maroney looks confused. Dent flips the coin again, looks down at the coin, shakes his head. Dent, but he's not. Maroney, who? Dent smiles, puts his seatbelt on. Dent, your driver. Dent presses the barrel of the revolver behind the shadow of the driver. Maroney lunges, screaming. Dent fires. The limo swerves off the bridge, soars out over the canal, and pancakes into the remaining wall. Ferry terminal. Civilians cram their way onto one ferry. Finally, the commander of the National Guard unit signals to his men to stop boarding and cast off. The two ferries set off across the river, heading for the lights of the distant shore of the mainland. Bridge, prisoner ferry. The first mate looks out the window. At the second ferry, it is dead in the water. He turns to the pilot. Prison ferry. First mate, they've lost their engines. Pilot, get on the radio and tell them we'll come back for them once we dump these scumbags. Suddenly, the control panel flickers and dies. Pilot, get down to the engine room. Passenger lounge, prisoner ferry. The first mate skirts around the prisoners and corrections officers. Across access corridor, prisoner ferry. The first mate opens the door to the engine room. Stops. Hundreds of barrels of diesel fuel and a small wrapped present topped with a bow. Bridge, prisoner ferry. The pilot of the prisoner ferry is holding the small present. His radio cackles. Pilot, same thing over here. Enough diesel to blow us sky high and a present. Elevated roadway, downtown Gotham. Batman sits on the Batpod, cape blowing, listening. Batman, Fox, there's something going on the ferries. Passenger lounge, commuter ferry. As cold, scared families watch, the National Guard commander unwraps that ferry's present. Inside, he finds a crude remote detonator. National Guard commander, why would they give us the detonator to our own bomb? Up in the wiring at the ceiling, a cell phone taped into the PA rings and answers. The Joker, tonight you're all going to be part of a social experiment. On both ferries, civilians, prisoners, crew, and National Guardsmen all listen as the Joker's voice rings off. Lab, Wayne Enterprises. Lucius Fox looks up as the console chimes. Fox, I'm zeroing in. The Joker. Through the magic of diesel fuel and ammonium nitrate, I'm ready right now to blow you all sky high. Anyone attempts to get off their boat, you all die. Fox, his voice is on the ferry, but that's not the source. Rooftops above Gotham. Batman looks out across the entire city skyline. Batman, do you have a location on the Joker? Fox, it's west. Batman fires up the Batpod. His cape shrinks into its pack form as he peels out, roaring into the night. The Joker, but we're going to make things a little more interesting than that. Tonight, we're going to learn a little bit about ourselves. Gordon, at home. Barbara Gordon answers the phone. Ramirez. Barbara, it's Anna Ramirez. Barbara. Hi, Anna. Ramirez, listen carefully. There's no time. Jim needs you to pack up and get the kids in the car right away. Barbara. But the unit's outside. Ramirez. Barbara, those cops can't be trusted. Jim needs you away from them as soon as possible. I'll call them off for 10 minutes. You'll have to move fast. Barbara, but where? Ramirez, I'm going to give you an address. Jim will meet you there. MCU. Ramirez is holding the phone. Ramirez. 250 52nd Street. Leave as soon as the patrol car pulls out. Dent is holding a gun at Ramirez's head. She hangs up. Dent, she believe you? Ramirez nods. Dent, she trusts you, just like Rachel did. Ramirez, I didn't know. Dent, What were they going to do? You're the second cop to say that to me. What exactly did you think they were going to do? Ramirez, I'm sorry, they got me early on. My mother's medical bills and my... Dent, don't. Dent flips his coin. Ramirez, I took a little from them. Once they've got you, they keep you. I'm sorry. Dent looks at his coin. Good side. Dent, live to fight another day, officer. Dent cracks her on the head with his gun. Bridge, prisoner ferry. The pilot tries the radio. It's dead. Pilot, he killed the radio. The Joker, there's no need for all of you to die. That would be a waste. So I've left you both a little present. Penthouse. Pre-wit building. The Joker stares out over the harbor at the ferries, talking into a cell phone, holding a detonator with 2 buttons. The Joker, each of you has a remote to blow the other boat. Passenger lounge, prisoner ferry. The prisoners and corrections officers listen, appalled. The Joker, at midnight, I blow you all up. If, however, one of you presses the button, I'll let that boat live. You choose. So who is it going to be? Harvey Dent's most wanted scumbag collection, or the sweet, innocent civilians? Oh, and you might want to decide quickly, because the people on the other boat may not be quite so noble. The Joker hangs up. The pilot looks down at the remote in his hands. Prisoners begin yelling and pushing. The warden takes the remote from the pilot, cocks his shotgun. His men level their weapons at the crowd. Ferry terminal. Gordon looks out at the ferries. His phone rings. Batman, I have the Joker's location. Gotham streets. Batman roars along on the Batpod. Batman, pre-wit building. Assemble on the building opposite. Passenger lounge. Commuter ferry. The National Guard commander is holding the remote. Several passengers take a step towards him. He pulls his weapon. National Guard commander, stay back. A businessman clutching his briefcase speaks up. Businessman, who are you to decide? We ought to talk it over at least. Other passengers agree. A mother with 2 kids speaks up. Mother, we don't all have to die. Why should my babies die? Those men had their chance. National Guard commander, we're not talking about this. Passenger 1, they're talking over the same exact thing on the other boat. Passenger 2, if they're even bothering to talk, let's put it to a vote. Passenger lounge, prisoner ferry, night. As the prisoners grow angrier, a corrections officer fires his shotgun into the air. The prisoners back off, slightly. Passenger lounge, commuter ferry. A guardsman on his boat passes around a hat. People drop chits into it. Passengers filling out chits eye each other. People on their phones say goodbye to loved ones. The pilot looks out across the water to the other ferry, looks up at the clock, 10 to midnight, stares down at his blank chit. Rooftop, overlooking pre-wit building. Gordon and his SWAT team leaders set up sniper and scope positions on the balustrade. Garage, pre-wit building. A SWAT stands beside the empty school bus. SWAT, we found our missing bus. Rooftop, overlooking pre-wit building. Gordon looks out at the SWAT leader. Gordon, then we have a hostage situation. They look across at the large windows of the pre-wit building. The Joker's men, in crude, homemade clown masks, are clearly visible, automatic weapons in hand. SWAT sniper, I got hostages. They look through his scope, crouch deep in the room, patients, doctors and nurses, huddled. Gordon, it's a shooting gallery. Why did he choose a spot with such big windows? Batman, he likes the view. Batman gestures towards the view of the ferries. SWAT leader, we have a clear shots on 5 clowns. Snipers, take them out. Smash the windows. A team rappels in. A team moves in by the stairwells. 2 or 3 casualties max. Gordon barely hesitates. Let's do it. Batman, it's not that simple. With the Joker, it never is. Gordon, what's simple is that every second we don't take him, those people on the ferries get closer to blowing each other up. That won't happen. Gordon, then he'll blow them both up. There's no time. We have to go in now. Batman, there's always a catch with him. Gordon, that's why we can't wait. We can't play his games. Batman turns. Batman, I need 5 minutes. Alone. Gordon, no, there's no time. We have clear shots. Gordon pulls his gun. Batman turns back. The SWATs watch. Gordon. Dent's in there with them. We have to save Dent. I have to save Dent. To SWAT leader, get ready. Batman leaps from the building, opens his cape, soars across the gulf between the 2 buildings. Gordon puts his weapon away, curses softly, turns to the SWAT leader. Gordon, 2 minutes, then you breach. Pre-wit building. Batman lands against the glass 2 floors below. Batman, Fox, I need picture. Lab research and development. Fox hits some keys. Fox, you've got POV on Alpha Channel, Omni on Beta. Pre-whip building. Smoke glass eyepieces slip down over Batman's eye holes. Batman sonar POV. The layers of the building dissolve, levels of transparency pulsing rhythmically. Batman can see the people inside the building. Penthouse, pre-whip building. The Joker standing by the window looking out at his handiwork. The Chechen's dogs start barking. He smiles. Penthouse, pre-whip building. Batman reaches into his utility belt, sprays plastic onto the glass, lets it harden, punches the window, which breaks quietly as the pieces stick to the laminate. He slips inside. Penthouse, pre-whip building. Batman's eyes glow white as he uses his sonar to look through the corner. An armed clown is leaning against the corner. Rooftop, pre-whip building. A 6-man SWAT team prepares to rappel from the roof. Stairwell, pre-whip building. A SWAT team moves up the stairs. Rooftop overlooking pre-whip building. Gordon's phone rings. Gordon, hello? Barbara, calm down. Dent, hello, Jim. Gordon, Harvey, what the hell's going on? Dent, you're about to know what my suffering is really like. Gordon looks across at the pre-whip penthouse. Gordon, where are you? Where's my family? Dent, where my family died. Click. Gordon looks at the SWAT leader. Pale. SWAT leader. Red team, go. Gordon moves to the door off the roof. Penthouse, pre-whip building. Batman grabs the armed clown, drops him silently. He goes to disarm him. The weapon is duct taped to the clown's hands. Batman rips off the clown mask. Staring, frightened eyes, mouth duct taped shut. It's Angle. Batman looks up. 4 more clowns line the windows. Weapons duct taped to their hands. On sonar, he looks into where the hostages are crouched. The patients and doctors are carrying weapons. These are the Joker's men. Above them, SWATs rappel from the rooftop. In the stairwells, 2 more teams prepping. Don't move. Angle nods, terrified. Rooftop overlooking pre-whip building. The SWATs line up the clowns in their sights. The SWAT team arrives at the penthouse fire exit. They spread charges across the inner wall. Rooftop overlooking pre-whip building. The SWAT leader checks his watch. SWAT leader, go, go, go! A SWAT sniper zeroes in on a clown. The clown disappears. The sniper looks up, confused. Penthouse, pre-whip building. Batman yanks the clown along the floor using his grapple gun. The clown takes down the 2 next to him. Batman leaps for the nearest 2 as shots shatter the glass. The SWATs rappel down the building, swing in through the broken windows. Penthouse, pre-whip building. The hostages reel from the blast. The SWATs swoop in, aiming weapons at the clowns, throwing percussion to grenades. Batman takes out the SWATs with fists and batarangs. The last SWAT aims at Batman. Behind him, a doctor raises a shotgun. Behind the doctor, Batman can see through the wall at SWATs preparing to breach. Batman vaults over the SWAT into a 2-foot kick into the doctor's chest. Stairwell, pre-whip building. The SWATs blast out the hole. The team leader steps out of the hole. The back grapple fires out, lodging in his Kevlar vest. He's yanked, screaming through the door. The rest of the team look at each other, steel themselves, move in through the hole. Penthouse, pre-whip building. As the SWATs race in, they find Engel, terrified, next to a pile of unconscious hostages, and their team leader, one end of an abseiling rope tied around his waist. Batman is on them, weaving, kicking, punching, and with one hand clipping carabiners looped to the abseiling rope onto their webbing of vests. Batman steps back, picks up the team leader's SWAT weapons, aim at him. He hurls the team leader out the window. The SWATs watch him go. The rope pays out. One by one, they are yanked out of the window. Rooftop overlooking pre-whip building. A sniper watches through his scope as a 6-man SWAT team soars out of the window and drops. The line snaps taut and they hang, like a mountaineering team in crisis. Batman, crouched in the broken window, secures the line. Sniper, what the hell is he doing? Batman looks right at the sniper, raises his grapples gun, bam. The back grapple smashes into the sniper's scope. The rifle is yanked out of his hands. Pre-whip building. Batman races past a dazed Angle. Angle, pathetic, thinks, into the main office. The Joker is there. The Joker, you came. I'm touched. Batman, what's the detonator? The dogs leap at Batman, smash him to the ground. Passenger lounge, commuter ferry. The pilot finishes counting the votes, reads the verdict. Pilot, the tally is 196 votes against, looks down, and 340 votes for. The passengers avoid eye contact with each other. Passenger lounge, prisoner ferry. The corrections officers are in a phalanx in the corner, facing off against hundreds of menacing prisoners. Prisoner word 1. Do you want to die? The warden and his men look at each other. At the clock. Penthouse, pre-lit building. Batman wrestles with the Rottweilers, a blinding mass of Batman, black fur and bared teeth. The Joker pops a switchblade, moves in on the mass, into the mass. Batman kicks off the last of the dogs. The Joker jabs his knife into Batman's ribs. The Joker, all the old familiar places. Batman recoils in pain. The Joker butts him, knees him, energy explodes from his lean frame. He kicks the injured Batman back towards the glass. Passenger lounge, commuter ferry. The pilot looks at the remote in his hands. Pilot, passenger ferry. I voted for it, same as most of you. Doesn't seem right that we should all die. Someone calls out from the back. So do it. Pilot, I didn't say I'd do it. Don't forget, we're still here, which means they haven't killed us yet, either. He sets the remote down on a bench in front of the lounge. The other passenger and guardsmen stare at it. A huge tattooed prisoner pushes his way to the front. He walks towards the warden, who is sweating, looking at the remote. Tattooed prisoner, you don't want to die, but you don't know how to take a life. Give it to me. The warden looks at the remote, at the clock. Tattooed prisoner, these men will kill you and take it anyway. Give it to me. You can tell people I took it by force. Give it to me and I'll do what you should have done 10 minutes ago. Passenger lounge, commuter ferry. Everyone stares at the remote. 1 minute left. The businessman stands, walks over and picks it up. Businessman, no one wants to get their hands dirty. Fine, I'll do it. Those men on that boat made their choices. They chose to murder and steal. It makes no sense for us to die too. He looks at the other passengers. No one makes eye contact. Passenger lounge, prisoner ferry. The warden slowly hands him the remote. The prisoner looks at it. He looks at the warden in the eye, then tosses the remote out of the window. Warden, prisoners, and officers are stunned. Penthouse, pre-lit building. Batman flies backwards through the window, glass flying. The Joker kicks out a wooden brace, holding up the steel frame. Batman's arms fly up as it comes crashing down onto his neck, saved by his protective gauntlets. Batman grunts as the Joker steps onto the steel beam. If we don't stop fighting, we're going to miss the fireworks. Batman, there won't be any fireworks. Batman struggles to keep the beam from crushing his neck. Passenger lounge, commuter ferry. The businessman stares at the remote in his hands. Finally, he puts it down, sits down, waits to die. The clock strikes midnight. Penthouse, pre-lit building. Batman indicates the clock, 12 o'clock. Batman, what were you hoping to prove? That deep down we're all as ugly as you? The Joker looks at the clock. Both ferries. The passengers brace, look at the clock, confused. The smile disappears from the Joker's face. Batman, you're alone. The Joker crouches down, hovering above Batman's face and arms, shows him the remote. The Joker, can't rely on anyone these days. The Joker arms the remote. The Joker, have to do everything yourself. Always have, and it's not always easy. Smiles, remembering. You know how I got these scars? Batman looks up at him. Batman, no, but I know how you got these. Batman's scalpel blades fire out of his gauntlet, nailing the Joker in the chest and arm. He staggers back. Batman, freed, leaps forward, kicks him over the edge, grabs the remote. The Joker giggles as he falls, enjoying the ride. Something slams onto his leg, and he jerks to a stop. Batman's grappled. The Joker hollers in pain as Batman hauls him up. The Joker, just couldn't let me go, could ya? I guess this is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. You truly are incorruptible, aren't you? Batman secures the Joker upside down. The Joker is laughing. The Joker, you won't kill me out of some misplaced sense of self-righteousness. And I won't kill you because you're too much fun. We're going to do this forever. Batman, you'll be in a padded cell forever. The Joker, maybe we can share it. They'll need to double up the rate this city's inhabitants are losing their minds. Batman, this city just showed you it's full of people ready to believe in good. The Joker looks up at him, a twinkle in his eyes. The Joker, till their spirit breaks completely, until they find out what I did with the best of them, until they get a good look at the real Harvey Dent and all the heroic things he's done. Indicates Ferry. Then these criminals will be straight back onto the streets, and Gotham will understand the true nature of heroism. The Joker, off look. You didn't think I'd risk losing the battle for the soul of Gotham in a fist fight with you. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Mine's Harvey. Batman hauls the Joker up. Nose to nose. What did you do? The Joker, I took Gotham's White Knight and I brought him down to my level. It wasn't hard. Madness is like gravity. All it takes is a little push. Joker laughs. Batman leaves him to the SWATs. Batman. Lucius, find Harvey Dent. Burnt warehouse, 52nd Street. Gordon gets out of his car, gun drawn, makes his way into the blackened wreckage of the building. Burnt warehouse, 52nd Street. Gordon peers into the darkness. Gordon, Dent? No reply. Gordon makes his way deeper, up the stairs, 2nd floor. Burnt warehouse. Gordon spots Barbara and their 2 children huddled together. He moves towards them. Barbara is shaking her head. Wham! Dent cracks Gordon over the head with his gun. Dent disarms Gordon, rolls him over. He turns to look at the enormous hole in the floor. From this side, in the moonlight, Dent looks completely normal. Dent, this is where they brought her, Gordon. This is where they brought her, Gordon, after your people handed her over. This is where they bound her. This is where she suffered. This is where she died. Gordon, I know, I was here, trying to save her. Dent turns, revealing his dark side. Dent, but you didn't, did you? Gordon, I couldn't. Dent, yes, you could. Dent, if you'd listened to me, if you'd stood up against corruption instead of doing your deal with the devil. Gordon, I was trying to fight the mob. Dent moves towards Gordon. Dent, you wouldn't dare try to justify yourself if you knew what I'd lost. Have you ever had to talk to the person you love most, wondering if you're about to listen to them die? You ever had to lie to that person, tell them it's going to be all right when you know it's not? Well, you're about to find out what that feels like. Then you will be able to look me in the eye and tell me you're sorry. Then turns, steps over Barbara, puts the gun to her temple. Gordon, Harvey, put the gun down. You're not going to hurt my family. Dent, no, just the person you need most. Cocks gun, so is it your wife? Gordon, put the gun down. Dent moves the gun to point at Gordon's little girl. Gordon, please, Harvey. Don't move. Dent moves to James Gordon, brushes the hair out of the boy's eyes with the muzzle. Gordon snaps. Gordon, God damn it, stop pointing that gun at my family, Dent. Dent, we have a winner. Dent pulls the boy away from his mother. Barbara, no, Jim, stop him. Don't let him. Dent walks James past Gordon to the edge of the burnt floor. He touches the raw wood at the edge of the floor. Gordon, I'm sorry, Harvey, for everything, but please don't hurt him. Sirens, burnt warehouse at 52nd Street. Cop cars descend on the warehouse. 2nd floor, burnt warehouse. Dent looks at Gordon, furious. Dent, you brought your cops? Gordon, all they know is there's a situation. They don't know who or what. They're just creating a perimeter. Dent, you think I want to escape? Aye, there's no escape from this. Dent indicates his face, his suffering. Gordon, no one needs to escape because no one's done anything wrong and nobody has to. Dent chuckles. A macabre sight. Dent, I've done plenty wrong, Gordon. Just not quite enough. Yet. Dent squeezes the gun a little tighter against the little boy's neck. The boy whimpers. Batman, you don't want to hurt the boy, Dent. Dent turns. Batman steps from the shadows. Dent, it's not about what I want. It's about what's fair. To Gordon and Batman, you thought we could be decent men in an indecent world. You thought we could lead by example. You thought the rules could be bent but not break. You were wrong. The world is cruel, shows his coin. And the only morality in a cruel world is chance. Unbiased, unprejudiced, fair. Batman, nothing fair ever came out of the barrel of a gun, Dent. Dent shows the coin. His boy's got the same chance she had, 50-50. Batman steps closer, desperate, trying to reach Dent. Batman, what happened to Rachel wasn't chance. We decided to act. We 3, we knew the risk and we acted as one. We are all responsible for the consequences. Dent looks at Batman, pleading. Dent, then why was it only me who lost everything? Batman looks into Dent's eyes, emotional. Batman, it wasn't. Dent, furious. The Joker chose me, Batman, because you were the best of us. He wanted to prove that even someone as good as you could fall. Dent, bitter, and he was right. Batman, but you're fooling yourself if you think you're letting chance decide. You're the one pointing the gun, Harvey. So point it at the people who were responsible. We all acted as one. Gordon, me, and you. Dent is listening, the wheels in his deranged mind turning. Dent, fair enough. Dent eases his grip on the boy. Dent, you first. He points the gun at Batman, flips the coin, tails. He shoots. Batman collapses to the ground, clutching his gut. My turn. He points the gun at his own head, flips the coin, heads. He looks a little disappointed. Finally, he points the gun back at Gordon's son. Dent, your turn, Gordon. Gordon, you're right, Harvey. Rachel's death was my fault, but punish me. Dent, I'm about to. Tell your son it's going to be all right, Gordon. Lie like I did. Gordon looks up, pain, locks eyes with his son. Gordon, it's going to be all right, son. Don't Dent flips the coin high. Dent's eyes follow the coin up. Batman hurls himself at Dent and the boy. All three of them vanish over the edge. A terrible crash, then silence, but for the sound of Dent's coin spinning on the floor at the edge of the hole. Gordon, horrified, runs to the edge, peers down. Dent lies at the bottom of the hole, his neck broken, dead. The coin stops spinning, good side up. Gordon's son swings into view, hanging from Batman, who is holding onto a joist with all his string. Gordon reaches down to grab his son, hauls him up. Batman falls, dropping and dropping, smashing through protruding wooden pipes. He lands hard near Dent. Burnt warehouse, 52 2nd Street. The cops prepare to storm the front door. Burnt warehouse, 52 2nd Street. Gordon races down the stairs, rushes over to Batman. James, Dad, is he okay? Gordon crouches at Batman's side. The Batman grasps Gordon's arm, staggers to his feet. Gordon, thank you. Batman, you don't have to. Gordon, yes, I do. Gordon and Batman stare down at Dent's body. Grave. Gordon, the Joker won. Gordon stares down at a scarred side of Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent. Gordon, Harvey's prosecution, everything he fought for, everything Rachel died for, undone. Whatever chance Gotham had of fixing itself, whatever chance you gave us of fixing our city, dies with Harvey's reputation. We bet it all on him. The Joker took the best of us and tore him down. People will lose all hope. Batman, no they won't. They can never know what he did. Gordon, incredulous. 5 dead, 2 of them cops. We can't sweep that under. Batman, no, but the Joker cannot win. Batman crouches to Dent's body. Batman, Gotham needs its true hero. Gently, he turns Dent's head so the good side of his face is up. Gordon looks from Dent's face to Batman, understanding. Gordon, you can't. Batman, yes, I can. Batman stands, faces Gordon. Batman, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I can do these things because I'm not a hero, like Dent. I killed those people. That's what I can be. Gordon, angry. No, you can't. You're not. Batman hands Gordon his police radio. Batman, I'm whatever Gotham needs me to be. Insert cut. Gordon stands at a podium at Dent's funeral. Behind him is a large photographs of Dent smiling. Gordon, a hero, not the hero we deserved, the hero we needed. Nothing less than a knight shining. Gordon, voiceover, they'll hunt you. Batman, you'll hunt me. Insert cut. Gordon on the roof of Gotham Central, axe in hand, watched by an assortment of cops and reporters. Batman, you'll condemn me. Set the dogs on me. Gordon takes the axe to the bat symbol, sparking, smashing. Batman voiceover, because it's what needs to happen. Insert cut. Alfred holds the letter from Rachel, thinking. Batman voiceover, because sometimes the truth isn't good enough. Insert cut. Alfred burns the envelope from Rachel. Batman, sometimes people deserve more. Insert cut. Lucius Fox types his name into the sonar machine. Fox hits the X. The machine flashes red. Self-destruct warnings, then dies. Fox smiles to himself. Batman hurries off, limping into the shadows. James. Batman? James runs down the stairs to join father. James. Why is he running, Dad? Gordon stares after Batman. Gordon, because we have to chase him. Warehouse. As cops race into the buildings, the dogs get the scent and pull away from the doorway, following the shadow into the stacks of shipping containers. Warehouse. James looks at his father, confused. James, he didn't do anything wrong. Gordon stares after the Batman, the sound of the dogs becoming louder and more ferocious. James, why, Dad, why? Gordon, because. Dockside, rooftops. The Batman lurches between shipping containers, stumbling, bleeding. He makes it to the Batpod. Gordon, he's voiceover. He's the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now. So we'll hunt him, because he can take it. Because he's not our hero. The Batpod streaks through Gotham's underground streets, the Batman's cape fluttering behind, a wraith. Gordon, voiceover. He's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight. Batman races up a ramp into a blinding light. Cut to black. Credits. End. And that's it. Oh, that's the entire script of The Dark Knight. I'm tired. I feel like my throat's going to hurt after this. But if you enjoyed this video, if you found any of the Amazon card codes and they worked, I'm glad to hear it. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe. This is just a different kind of video. just to kind of have as hub content. So hopefully I'll have a lot more exciting content coming soon in the coming weeks. So make sure you subscribe for that, drop a like, comment what you thought, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in a few weeks.